evening, everyone. I am Kungfufruitcup, and welcome to Out of Bounds. Hey, it's so nice to have you all back for another episode, and we are just fresh off of Frost Fatales 2023, which ended with an all-time record high raise for Malala Fund of over $150,000, which is so exciting. And I'm really excited about it. Not only that, but I am bringing on one of our runners from this past event who ran several games, one of which we're going to see broken down today. If you are new to the show, I'm swallowing my own spit, so excuse me. If you are new to the show, this is basically like a glitch breakdown showcase style show. So you're going to see speedruns, but in a slow, explained manner. So we're not going to be going for world records here, but you get to learn how things work, how they're set up, like how they were found. It's just really cool to be able to experience that. So we have Pastor Ray on, who did Stray, which was so fun to watch. And I was so excited to bring her back on to help break down the glitches in this game. So how you doing, Pastor Ray? What's up?
I'm good. It's probably better that you have me doing Stray and not Casper's Scare School, actually. That was the other game I ran there.
Look, gym is really hard. I understand. It's okay.
I failed gym class. It's fine.
I feel like that was like just RNG, like getting stuck on those hurdles. I was like, I can see how absolutely frustrating this game must be. And then when you compare it in contrast to you running this game, it's like the movement must be just like a joy, like such a breeze in this game.
This game has well-designed movement. It's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to get to see that and learn more about that today. So excited to have you here and have everybody watching at home. Hey, what's up? Now, before we get started, I did want to hear a little bit about like what got you into Stray, what like you and like kind of what you find the most interesting about it.
Yeah. So Stray was obviously really popular. You've probably heard something about Stray before just because of how popular it was when it came out. It came out in July of last year. And the developers put an achievement in the game where if you complete the game in under 2 hours, then you get a speedrun achievement, which is cool. That, it's really cool that they're encouraging people to speedrun it. So a lot of people got into it just like there was a speedrun achievement and they decided to, at least do 1 or 2 runs of the game to get the game done in under 2 hours. But what really kept me speedrunning it was all the different glitches that were discovered. And it was really cool to like be a part of glitch hunting and watching the community really come together to find all these glitches. So I'm excited to be here showing off and talking about the glitches because we've found a lot to show you. Agreed.
Yes, I'm so excited to learn. Like, so do you tend to gravitate toward glitch heavy games? And if so, like what else do you have experience with?
Yeah, I definitely tend to run like really glitchy categories first, and then sometimes I'll move into like glitchless categories if it's a game that I really like. But so obviously I run Stray. I run a lot of retro games too. So like 102 Dalmatians is an old Dreamcast and PS1 game that I've run a lot. I've run Mother 1 for the NES, which has some cool glitches that get you to the end like way faster than you were supposed to get there. And then also some other modern games that kind of unintentionally they tend to have like lots of animals in them. It's not on purpose, but it just keeps happening. Like Yono and the Celestial Elephants is a fun game with some cool glitches, and it's just cute.
Cool. I love that. You're like, I just kind of unintentionally run games with like animals all over the place all the time. I love it. That's awesome. Plus, hearing you run all these other glitchy games, maybe we'll see Pastor Ray on the show more than once. Again, I love bringing people back on because there's a lot of times people who run one game that's glitchy tend to run more because they find them really interesting. There's something about learning them or how they work that can really draw people in. So yeah, that's why we have some returning guests occasionally here and there. But for now, I want to learn more about Stray. So we're going to get into the showcase. Hope y'all are excited. Feel free to ask questions in the chat as we go along. I can relay them to Pastor Ray. And just love looking. I can see the game. I'm ready to go. With a little kitty face. I love Kitty so much. This game is so good. So really excited for this. But yeah, feel free to ask questions. That is what I'm here for. But in the meantime, I'm gonna hand it off to Pastor Ray, as she's the one who knows all of the things about the game. So whenever you are ready, feel free to get us into a countdown, and we can get started. And then you can like take us through it.
All right. Yeah. So this is Stray. I'm going to be kind of roughly following the 100% unrestricted route, but only kind of. We're going to throw some extra fun things in there. And I guess the first thing before I get into it, the first thing to talk about, I am playing on PC, and there's differences between the different versions because one of the big glitches that we use in the PC version is only possible because we're playing on patch 2 of the game. And the developers were really nice to give us a beta branch on Steam so that we can run it on this patch. But if you're playing on console, which is like PS4, PS5, unfortunately you only have like the most updated version, which does not have the big glitch that we use called sleep paralysis. But it does have some other ones that you can use. And so actually, if we have some time at the end, I'll show off what the PS4, PS5 route looks like a little bit. And
yeah,
that's actually, it's the route we used to use on PC. And it's just super unfortunate timing because the developers were like, they were keeping a feel out for like what the speedrun community was doing so that they didn't unintentionally patch any big glitches. And they purposely left in the one that we use on PS4 and PS5. But the one that we use on PC called sleep paralysis, I think it was just really bad timing because like this patch came out right as like sleep paralysis was coming together. And so it got patched just because like they didn't even know that we were working on this. Also, that part of the game is just like super glitchy. People were getting stuck on it and stuff in casual, like, which is, you know.
Yeah, I feel like when too many casual players encounter a glitch, the developers are like, okay, we kind of have to.
Yeah, exactly.
Take this out. Like, sorry.
So it's awesome that we still have the patch 2 available on PC.
Agreed. Yeah, and, that's awesome.
Yeah, I guess I'll start. We can start the timer in 3, 2, 1, go. And here we are. We do open with a glitch pretty much right away, but first we have to say hi to our cute cat friends.
We have time. We can do that.
It has this whole opening cinematic. And you will notice I do have some numbers up on the screen. I'm running with the trainer on right now so that I can show some things off later, but that's what those numbers are. And we have some really awesome tools actually that are available for glitch hunting and just like generally practicing stray runs. Although you can't do a real run with the trainer on. It would give you information that makes it a little bit easier to do things.
Awesome. I feel like this game also was the closest I've been to like having a panic attack, which I have not been through, and I have friends who've been through it, so I don't mean to like downgrade the seriousness of it, of course, but I just like I just seeing the cat fall was like it was so heartbreaking. Let's call it that. Let's call it extremely heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I was very
and
nervous.
Unfortunately, we can't skip the cat falling.
Yes, but I did hear like it's like the developers are like, we made sure like the cat can't get hurt really, you know.
Yeah.
In that way, like the cat's okay.
The cat is okay.
Must be careful. The poor thing. We're playing with the kitties. This part.
All right. So now we've played with all of our friends, and now we come up to nap skip. So, what's normally supposed to happen here is you press the button for this prompt. For me, it's left, and it will trigger your cat friend to go to sleep with the other friends, and you'll wake up, and there's this really cool cinematic cutscene where you like go all the way down there with your friends. It's nice and peaceful. If you speedrun glitchless, you still get to watch that nice peaceful cutscene, but we're gonna skip it. So the way that we do it is our friends here, they all have collision, so we can't walk through them very easily. And we use that along with the slope of this wall to get the cat stuck. Because you can see, I can still use this prompt even when I'm pretty far away. And if you're at the right angle, then the cat can't get back to the prompt spot. I'm gonna come back out here and do it again just because I was walking around so much. I need to make sure I'm in the right spot. But the cat's gonna just circle here instead of going to sleep. And that's nap skip.
Are you just holding, like you're just holding toward the wall, or you just stand there and then click it?
No, just walk into the wall and click it. You don't even have to hold towards the wall. And then you wake up here. And there actually is a very rare glitch that can happen, a glitch on top of the glitch. If you're in just slightly like the wrong spot, the cat can like break out of the circle and go to sleep. And if you sleep at the same frame that the cutscene starts, you don't wake up and the cutscene doesn't play either. So you just soft locked and the cat's just sleeping. Huh. Which you could argue is like, it's the good ending of the game, because like the cat never loses its friends. But yeah. you can't continue the speedrun, you have to restart. So we didn't get that this time, it's fine. We did not soft lock, but now we're up here and we're not supposed to be. Because what's supposed to happen, like I said, you're supposed to do this nice cinematic cutscene with your friends where you like walk down to the floor down there. And you can do that, you can still do that here, actually. Yeah. Well, we can skip that, but first I'll show you. You can walk on all these pipes, even though like normally it's just the cutscene that does all this for you. You can walk on all these pipes, and you can get down there yourself. And it's definitely the safer option to walk on the pipes and get down there yourself, because the thing that I'm about to show you, you have the chance to fall through the floor. But there's our friend. That's like what you would head towards. Is the whole cutscene would play with you going down there. But I'm going to... Oh, you know what? What I might need to do is...
Start over.
It's not going to like me doing this. Well, it's still going to try to restart the game for me, but I'll quit again and it should work fine.
That's fair.
Because I have a save made in a place where it's not supposed to save, so it doesn't like that very much.
Okay.
So we do have a save anywhere mod. That's how I have this save made. We have a save anywhere mod that was made by Okatsu that lets you save anywhere, like it says, and so you can save at the top here after getting nap skip. So
nice.
After you get nap skip, you have two options. Like I said, you can go down those pipes, or you can do the pipe skip. We've got nap skip, we've got pipe skip. So we're gonna go out of bounds here by walking into these pipes.
What?
And so, like I said, there's a chance of actually falling into the void, so we're gonna see what happens, but the general idea of what you're trying to do is you walk until the cat gets stuck, and then you run to the left, and the cat will pop through and go out of bounds, but sometimes the cat doesn't want to, because this is a cat we're dealing with.
It is a cat. Yeah.
But you can, I mean, there's some super weird collision around here, actually. You can, like, walk in all of this stuff.
Oh, that's so weird.
Speaking of out of bounds. Actually, I think I'm stuck here now. Oh, we're back in. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes it's harder to get back in bounds than it is to get out of bounds. Oh, come on, cat. Unfortunately, you can't see like what you're getting caught on in this whole area because the pipe is blocking it.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. But this is bad. We're in the void. Welcome to the void, everybody. There everything goes. It's gone. Oh, yep.
I love it. I think it's great, though, to show.
This is all that you can do in the void. Is flip back and forth. That is why I have a save at the top, because...
can you turn the camera back up and see where we fell from anymore?
No, it's all gone. So this is the sky. This is the cat.
You fall forever.
And this is... You fall forever. Eventually, I have left it for a long time. You do get lower and lower, and the sky gets smaller and smaller.
Oh my gosh. Okay, there you go. So falling forever. That was a question in chat, so there you go.
Okay, we're gonna reload the checkpoint, so we're not doing this. Alright, let's do pipe clip properly this time.
Oh, funny. Oh. Do you have any like tips or like any other methods you use to make sure you're going in the right direction to try to avoid the void?
Avoid the void. I'll be honest, I don't usually have this much problem with it. Like, the fact that I'm clipping at weird spots is the reason that I'm going out of bounds, definitely. So, like, the usual goal is walk until the cat gets stuck and then move left and run, which usually works pretty consistently for me, but because I'm Maybe because I'm talking too much, it's just not.
Yeah, that's always the case.
Oh, cat is stuck on something.
It's always different during a marathon or like an event or something. How much time does this usually save?
There we go.
Oh, nice. Okay, so it's very close.
Yeah, it looks like you're gonna fall off, but you don't.
Okay.
I think it saves like 45 seconds. I could be wrong on that, but like the whole cutscene itself is pretty. Or actually, wait, I'm not sure if I'm considering that with cutscene skip, with like the nap skip plus the pipe skip, versus. I think. I don't want to put numbers on it, but I think the whole thing saves like 45 seconds total. So now we're here, which is still out of bounds. And so like I said before, it's a lot harder to get back in bounds sometimes than get out of bounds. So you can't just walk back. You get stuck. And actually, if you run into this, you get some really weird, like the cat will glitch around and yeah, there we go. Like vibrate and stuff. This cat vibrates.
Oh no. Okay.
So there's a few different ways you can get back in bounds. One of the first ones that we had that worked consistently was a pretty precise setup down here where you'd like stop on this spot and like zoom into a certain spot and then run. And I'm not going to be doing that one today because we have a much better setup now, luckily. Because the way that we do it now is when you're running with the cat, you'll see like the cat doesn't just turn around. The cat kind of like does a U-turn. Oh, I just unintentionally got back inside. So we're gonna do that again. Not usually that easy to get back inside.
Well, there's a way to get back in bounds. I love how immediately broken this game is. This is fantastic.
Yeah, this was one of the later skips that we found too, like, which is super exciting to have things immediately that you could just like. It's super fun to show at a marathon. Like, look, guys, this game is broken right off the bat.
Yes, exactly. I'm also seeing a really cool fact in chat, which I don't know if you know or not, about the place the cat exits the city at the end is like 20-second run to the right, or I guess to the left of where you start. So this is almost at the exit of the game, the very end of the game. Oh yeah,
I forgot about that. You're right.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Okay,
so that's
super cool.
Me doing that faster. As I was saying, the cat U-turns instead of like actually turning around, because this is like they did a lot of work to actually model like what cats move like they had.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with that.
They had like actors, they had stray actors, they had voice actors for this cat. And so a real cat can't just like turn on a dime like humans do. Well, when I'm walking, the cat can turn on a dime pretty well, but when you're running, the cat's not going to just like immediately flip around. So we take advantage of that, because if you're running in a direction and then tap to the left or right, when you press the back button, like if you press the reverse of whatever you're doing, so if I'm going forward and then I tap right and then I reverse, the cat will turn to the right. And so I'm going to use that here. I'm going to take advantage of it here to turn purposely to the left and get back at a specific angle so that I go through the wall on the way back in. Okay. Which is what you kind of unintentionally saw before. But like that.
Nice.
So you have to get the cat to like jump over the edge, otherwise you don't get back in bounds.
Okay.
But now we're here. You do have to be careful when you're here, because that white cat over there, if you get too close to them, you will start the opening cutscene, which means that you did all this work for nothing. Because you still have to watch the opening cutscene. So we're going to avoid that cat. Because what's supposed to happen is, and they're kind of like stuck in their animations, but they're supposed to like follow you and stuff. It's a nice scene where you go through this like scenic area with your friends, except they're just going to stay there because we didn't do the cutscene. And yeah, I think that's pretty much the first glitch. So now we can start running towards the next parts of the game. And you'll see that the prompt that just popped up was the meow. We do have a meow button. And in the speedrun, we have meow bound to the scroll wheel if you're playing on PC, because the meow button is also the same thing that you use to shake off enemies. So this makes sure that we can shake off enemies really fast.
Okay.
But that also means that you hear a lot of meowing during the speedrun.
I'm fine with that. I think we're okay with that in here. I'm gonna say we're okay.
Is everybody okay with that? Chat, what do you think?
Are you okay with lots of meowing, chat? Okay, so we still have to do all this stuff.
We still have to do all this stuff, yeah. And actually, I've accidentally gotten out of bounds on some of these pipes over here. Oh, I'm gonna be careful not to jump on them. And so we are headed towards the sad cutscene. Unfortunately, we don't have a skip for the sad cutscene.
Yeah.
One day.
Yeah, I know. So there's no way to get out of that pipe before you skip the nap. Like, you can't even get down the pipe before you have to do the nap thing. You know why that is?
Oh, that's a good question.
Like, you do nap skip, but like people don't even.
No,
wait.
that's a good point. It might be something with the triggers that get set. Like, you might not be able to activate the next part of the game properly otherwise. But that's a good point. I hadn't thought about that, and I haven't tried to do it before the nap skip.
Okay, just slid down. Just slid down.
Oh yes, Kitty's fine. Kitty has magic saliva, and everything will be okay.
That's also true.
No, and I'll have to try that later. I don't know. I haven't seen people discuss it. That doesn't mean people haven't, but that's a really good point.
Pipe skippers. Yeah. Yeah.
It's okay, Kitty's fine. I always look at chat during this part.
You're like moving, but like not really.
I'm not looking.
I understand.
And that opening like fall cutscene and then the very end cutscene, where the city opens, those two cutscenes specifically are pre-rendered. Like the video files, you can find them if you have the PC version. And all the other ones are not. So you can actually delete those from your computer and then they won't play. But that's not okay for the speedrun.
Sure.
Alright, Kitty's about to be fine.
Yeah, Kitty's gonna be okay. I have to warn everybody. I'm also reminding myself.
And we will be running again shortly. Cats have 9 lives, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Oh. Ball.
All right, here we are.
Okay, so now we're in Dead City. I mean, well, the unfortunate thing about like the really sad cutscene is it is like the whole impetus for the game because you want to reunite with your friends. So, this is before we've gotten our robot friend. And we do have some glitches in this area that will be coming up shortly.
Okay.
But first, this puzzle.
You gotta do the bucket. Loved carrying that bucket around.
I love that everything you do in this game is just, it's cat-like. One thing you can
really thought this
you
through.
can actually slip through these buckets. I'm not going to do it here, but you can. It's just like not super consistent for a speedrun.
For sure.
But there's a few different ways that you can do this next part. Because again, you're a cat. It's your goal to break things, right? So what the game wants you to do is to push this bucket into the window that's down there. Another thing that you can do is you can use these like empty paint things or empty, I don't even know what these are. Milk jugs, something. Maybe gas cans? I don't know. Whatever these things are. Okay. You can push them into the glass as well. Oh, it says oil on the side. Okay, it's an oil can. These also break the glass. Oh, and that one went flying. And so one thing that you can do is you can just like run into these and hope that one of them hit this exact spot that you need. The problem with that is that it's like, as you saw, it was super slow for me to set that whole thing up. And really just like, you can do it in a speedrun, but it's not super consistent unless you're really slow with it. So the other thing that we do, and that we do a lot more, is to use this paint can right here to glitch the cat so that it falls with the paint can. Because normally, I mean, the window's already broken right now. But what you're supposed to do then is like climb down here and then climb in there. But
yeah, but we want to save time.
We're not going to do that. This is a speed run. So what you can do is if you it works best if you're like between the paint can and the wall. And an interesting thing about this game is that the cat can sometimes get these prompts from pretty far away, as you saw with nap skip, but you're also going to see it with other things as well. So what's going to happen is I'm going to push the can twice, probably. It usually takes 2. Sometimes it takes 3 times to push it off. And after it falls, I'm going to interact with it again, and the cat's going to try to do that, except it's falling, and so then the cat's going to fall too. That's the goal, at least. Oh, the cat's playing. If you idle too long, the cat will, like...
Oh, it's so cute.
It is. Oh, come on! The cat pushed it again, but didn't fall, so we're going to do it again.
I do have a couple questions in chat, if you have a sec.
Yeah.
Well, how does the game behave if the video files don't exist when they're supposed to play?
Oh, that's a good question. I assume that it was just skipping. I haven't actually tried it myself. Because it was discussed at one point as like an option for cutscene skips, but then it was decided that it wasn't allowed, so I never tried it myself. I'm pretty sure it just like goes to the next point that would happen after the cutscene. All right, we're gonna do this again. There we go. And we just fall. The cat takes no fall damage. Nice. This cat is just invincible.
Yes.
And so that is the paint bucket clip. I also saw a question about controller prompts and keyboard and mouse prompts.
Yes.
A lot of speedrunners actually will use both controller and keyboard and mouse. A lot of people will use them one at a time. I use controller and mouse at the same time. So I have my left hand on the controller and my right hand on the mouse because the mouse is really important, like I said, for being able to scroll and meow really fast. But I'm just generally a keyboard player. I'm just generally a controller player. So
interesting.
I want to be able to use controllers when I can. No, I mean it has some advantages, like having an analog stick and stuff like that. So, I think there's a pretty good mix of people who'd use both or use just one or the other. It didn't used to be feasible to the same extent to use just a controller because of the advantage that a mouse had, but more recently, actually, the rules have changed so that you can use a macro to replace the mouse function. Like, a normal mouse scrolls and then stops scrolling, but you can get mouses that have free scroll, or sometimes it's called hyper scroll, where it like just scrolls and then keeps scrolling. So my mouse actually does that, where it just keeps going and the cat just keeps meowing even though I'm not scrolling more. And that gives you an advantage in this game because it gives you more inputs per second, and it also, like, you just have to, use less inputs to do the same thing. There's no breaks in the input or anything like that. So because that gives you an advantage, and because they didn't want to make it so that everybody had to go out and buy these free scroll mouses, it was decided that you could use a macro specifically just to replace the function of a free scrolling mouse. So now you can also use that if you're using a controller to replace that function, whereas you didn't used to be able to do that at all. So maybe if I had started after that ruling was made, maybe then I would be just on a controller, but like I already developed all the muscle memory for doing things like this, so here I am on controller and mouse. But I wanted to show off too, while I'm here, this the weird things that the cat will do because you can interact with things from far away. So one of the things that the cat does is scratch. You can scratch things.
Yes.
And I think there's actually an achievement for scratching things in every chapter.
I probably got that achievement.
Yeah. But you can also scratch this thing from far away, so this is what happens when you do that. So the cat The cat's in the floor. It's fine.
Oh no.
And so there's a few different places where weird things like that will happen. And the cat always goes back to the place that it was before when you stop doing this. Like, the cat will just go back up here like nothing happened.
Oh no.
So there's a few different places that you can use that, or also just, like, it's funny. But, now we're gonna keep going.
That's fantastic.
This cat, I don't know, this cat can, like, travel dimensions and stuff. It's invincible. Don't mess with this cat.
Aw. Poor robot friend.
Yeah, so this is where we meet our main enemy for the first part of the game. The Zerks.
Honestly, makes sense to me that cats survived longer than humans.
Yeah, right? All that's left are the cats. This is why.
They're like ticks. I hate them.
Some people think they're cute.
But also
People
they
think
eat you.
they're cute. I guess I get it to some extent, but yeah, also they're like trying to eat you.
They're small and crawly and have little tiny limbs and...
So this is where I'm just like meowing continuously because this shakes the Zerks off almost instantly. Like, you'll see some of them touch me and then just immediately fling off.
That's really useful to know.
And I mean, it's also just like, it's useful too if even if you're playing casually and like button mashing isn't your thing. Scroll wheel is an option. This game has really flexible rebinding options for like all the different movement things and all the different keys that you need. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
And there is an achievement in Steam for, or if you're on PlayStation, it's also there too. There's an achievement for getting through that section without getting hit by a single Zerk, which we don't usually even do in the speedruns, so it's, I think at one point it was like the rarest achievement. I don't know if it still is, but it's definitely very difficult.
Rarest achievement on Steam?
On the game, on Steam.
I was like, whoa.
Not on all of Steam. Actually, that's a good question. What would the rarest achievement on all of Steam be?
On all of Steam.
Probably like a game that 5 people have downloaded.
Right, exactly. Okay. Yeah, why do we have the white dot in the middle of the screen? Again?
Yeah, so if you played it casually, you probably didn't ever see that, but
yes.
For the speedrun, it helps us to line things up for tricks. For 2 tricks in particular, actually.
Okay.
So I'll talk about that. Not too long from now, actually. And you'll notice, like, every time I jump, there's a prompt for jumping, which, in some respect, like, helps to keep the game from being super glitchy, because you can't just jump anywhere, but we still have ways to glitch the game.
Right, of course. They do offer, like, a lot of various places you can jump up and around to once you get to, like, hub areas, I would say.
Yeah. There's also places I've found where you can just jump out of bounds, even though, like, it only offers certain spots for you to jump. Sometimes you still can jump out of bounds.
Huh.
Whoops.
I wonder if I ever did that by accident. I feel like I might have.
Most of them aren't useful for speedrunning, unfortunately. Then you're just, like, stuck there, and... Yep. But we're coming up to flat. There's a little bit of a glitch that you can do here. I think it's really funny. If you grab this and then turn around really fast and drop it, sometimes it'll like fling across the screen, but it's physics-based, so it's random. So I'm gonna try to do it here, but there's no promises. Yeah, it didn't work. I don't know what the physics do, but sometimes it'll just like absolutely go flying.
Interesting.
The physics in this game can be kind of unpredictable, especially for like where items spawn. Like sometimes you'll reload a checkpoint and things will just like fall from the sky. I don't know where they come from.
Okay, great. I hope we see that during this. That would be awesome.
I hope so too.
That's one of my favorite things in the game, by the way, casually, is walking on the keyboard to make the thing work.
Yes.
So
this
funny.
part's so good when the harness gets put on the cat.
Yes. And it's like, I can't walk.
Okay. We're here. We're in... This is where we meet B12. And there is Well, I don't know. I guess it's this is where the cat doesn't like to do what you want the cat to do, because putting these batteries on is pain. You can move during the cutscene that's about to come up, and I guess it's not necessarily a glitch, but it is really useful for the speedruns. And I say it's not really a glitch because even in glitchless you're allowed to do this, just because like they didn't make it so that you can't move right now. So you can like walk all the way in here and get up here, all while the cutscene's playing.
Oh, nice. You go ahead and get this. You're all set.
And now we have B12.
Already! That's fast.
So this will be a nice long cutscene that we don't have a skip for. This is one of the few cutscenes we just strictly don't have a skip for, like this one, and then the one at the beginning too, and then the one at the end. But a lot of the other ones you can skip, even if we don't usually. In 100%.
Right.
In any percent you do. Any percent, it's also low percent because it's 0%. In 100% you get all 27 memories and all 6 badges, and in any percent you get 0 memories and 0 badges.
You don't get any memories? Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'll talk about how that works too, even though I won't be doing it for 100%. We can still talk about those skips.
Right. I mean, you can always like do a skip if you know it and feel like turning it off, and then like go back and then do the thing you're supposed to do. Like get the memory. Like you could skip it and then come back and then get it. It's up to you.
Yeah. This is where you're also, well, actually, first, watch what happens when the backpack goes on the cat. It's
this is
so accurate.
Cat's like, oh god, I can't. I don't know how to walk. I hate it.
Falling into the city did not hurt the cat, but the cat is dying with his backpack on. Somebody help the cat. But you're gonna hear a lot of meowing now that we have B12. We can use whoops, to do the code right first. Now that we have B12, we can talk to B12 and also talk to the other robots that we meet. And so the other thing that we have on the mouse wheel is the like next screen, next dialogue. That's what I'm looking for. The next dialogue button is also on the scroll wheel, and so that means that like when the dialogue's over, sometimes like the scroll wheel's still happening, so then it switches from next to meow, and you just get so much meows. But this is where a cutscene's gonna happen, and to tell you a little bit about how cutscene skips work, you can another thing that we have on scroll. So one of the options for B12 is help, and B12 will give you help, like tell you where to go next. But if you're using the help function at the same time that you cross a trigger for a cutscene, then B12 will like override the cutscene with the help prompt. And so I'm not going to show it here because it would actually take a long time to go back and do all of that again. But I'll show you with some future ones exactly what's happening there.
Okay.
But this is
So much meowing.
Yep, just meowing. And this is where we get one of our first memories. So like this thing pops up to tell you that you have a memory. And if you watch an any percent run, they'll get 0 of them. It's wild.
That's awesome. Yeah. Huh.
And because we have a bucket, we have to spin.
You gotta spin. Ew.
There's the zerks.
No, go away. Run.
And now we're entering slums, and this is where things get really broken. But first we have to get through this.
Well, do we start with 2 glitches, do a couple other small things, and then you say, now the game is gonna get really broken?
Yeah, now we gotta really break it.
All right.
That was small stuff. This is the real thing. I am going to try to do a small glitch here. It can just happen normally, but sometimes if you look at the floor, it can make it happen. We're going to try to get yay, we got it. Okay, so the Guardian's closing the door back there, right? That robot in the back just like leaned down to close the door, but the door is not closed. And that's because what we did is we got the Guardian to do that early. The door will still close separately on its own, but the important thing is that because the Guardian did that early, He's gonna break out. See the door, just like a ghost closed it. The guardian's gonna break out of his animation, like that he's doing, and he's gonna smile when we meow. You're not supposed to be able to do this.
That's awesome.
But we're getting him to smile during like what's supposed to just be like a cutscene where what they think is happening is that the Zerks are attacking because they've never seen a cat before. So he should not be smiling at this like thing that's going to potentially eat them. See, like this is what he says here. You're welcome in our village as long as you don't eat anyone.
Uh-huh.
So he should not be smiling at us, but smile.
It's a cat. Just knows to like it.
Yeah. So there aren't normally cats here. That's why they're so scared by the cat. They've never seen a cat before. The cat's orange like the Zerks. The cat has glowing eyes like the Zerks. You can see how they might be a little bit concerned about this. But after this cutscene, the Guardian is going to tell us to go find Momo to talk about the postcard. And we're not going to do that.
We call our cat here, by the way, is Momo. So it's very, very relatable.
What I'm first going to do is actually, we're going to do this at 30 FPS because it's a little easier. The first thing, this is another smug glitch. You can get through this door. What you're supposed to do is scratch on the door. But if you do the 2 scratch prompts like fast enough, like if you, so it's the same button to scratch the door and then to stop scratching the door. And if you scratch the door, somebody will come and open it. But I'm not going to do that because that'll take a long time.
Okay.
But what you can do is, like if you're over here and you scratch, I guess this goes back to all the other weird scratch things that have happened. Like it'll warp you over to the scratch thing, and it'll actually push you through the door so that if you unscratch at the right part, you'll be on the other side. So you want to be running into the door. Whoops. You want to be running into the door, and then over on the side here, press the scratch button really quick to scratch and then unscratch, and you'll come right through it.
Now we're inside.
Now we're inside.
Nice.
And now that we're inside, so this is the guy who's supposed to open the door. He's sleeping. We didn't want to wake him up. We just wanted to let him sleep somewhere. And now that we're inside, you can actually talk to Elliot through the floor here, which isn't useful for the speedrun, but and if you ever wanted to, you can, talk to him. What's a beach? I've never heard of that. But we don't actually need to talk to Elliot right now. That's not the goal right now. I'm going to grab this memory, though, because this is 100%. We're going to grab the memories. And then I'm going to actually quit because I'm going to load in a mod that's going to help me explain this next glitch here. So one moment.
Ooh, okay, cool. Let's see. If you skip a cutscene, is it permanently gone or is the trigger still there for you to walk over? Can you answer that?
Good question. I'm thinking. You've skipped it for that one, but like if you reload the checkpoint, you can still activate it. Like it'll be there again.
Okay. You can't like walk back into it without reloading the checkpoint?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Gotcha. You know what breed the cat is? Probably just some cats are just
no, like, I just like orange tabby, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
A cat, cat breeds. This is a cat.
It's cat breed, yeah. It's a stray?
It's a stray cat.
Oh,
Okay, so I loaded in an extra mod now so that we can see. You see this little glowing ball below us. That is the ground probe. And the ground probe checks.
I personally cannot see at the moment, just so you know.
Oh, you can't? Oh, because it unshared. Oh, that's a pain.
Okay, no worries.
No. Here.
Thank you.
Okay. Now everybody can see we've got the orange ball under the cat. This is the ground probe.
Okay.
And this checks what the cat's standing on, and it makes sure that you can't do things like walk off edges or like walk into water and stuff. So like, it tells the game what the cat's on. You can get some weird things with it. So there's actually 2 balls. Sometimes you'll see both of them. There's like a white ball and an orange ball.
Something's freaking out of the top of the screen.
Oh yeah. The camera. Oh yeah. The camera does.
That.
Yep. Oh, hello. The weird physics. This game has some weird physics. The orange one is the raw location of the probe, and the white one is like a better estimate of the cat's location. Like you'll see the orange one, for example, is moving when the cat walks up the slope of these pillows, and the cat can't actually like be on a slope like that. So the other one is like the actual location. And actually, like the two different probes aren't going to play a huge role in this glitch, but they're going to be very important for a later glitch that I'll explain in more detail when we get to that later. But what's important for you to know right now is that these are the probes, and they tell the game, you know, whether the cat is on ground, whether the cat is about to walk off an edge, stuff like that, to make sure that the cat doesn't do things like walk through the air and stuff like that. But we're going to break that.
Okay.
We're gonna break the probe. So this is a glitch called sleep paralysis. I mean, you can even see like the cat's doing some weird glitchy things on these pillows right here. But the reason it's called sleep paralysis, there's a lot of different explanations for why. I don't know if anyone is like the true answer, so I'll tell you what like the various options are. One of them is that like we're doing this glitch on a bed, so you know, sleep paralysis, because the cat gets stuck on the bed. Another one is that the cat turns into your sleep paralysis demon, which I guess maybe could be true. Like we're gonna go through some walls and stuff here. It is kind of freaky. Another one is that it, like the people who worked on this, it was a whole team of people, and they worked for a long time to figure out a setup to get this to work, because they knew that something like this was possible, but they couldn't figure out how to get a setup that would do it consistently. So because they didn't get any sleep, maybe that's why it's called sleep paralysis. At the end of the day, it's called sleep paralysis, and that's all I can say. So when it was first discovered, like I said, like people didn't fully understand what was going on. It was kind of like this weird superstitious ritual that you did to like try to get sleep paralysis to work. Like I remember some of the first setups, it was like align the cat's tail with this light, and then turn this way and zoom in here, and then turn 5 times, and then zoom in over here, and then hope that it works, kind of thing. We don't do any of that anymore because we actually know what's going on. So the first step then is to get the cat like all the way over to the left on the shelf. And then this trick relies really heavily on being like in the exact right spot and being at the exact right angle when you jump onto the bed. So the first step is to get the cat on the right spot, and it's precise down to the subpixel. So that's one of the reasons why I have the trainer on, because you're going to be able to see the exact position of the cat down to the subpixel. Like that's the decimal point after the whole number. Right now we're at negative 42.26x, and that's the x is like the important one that I'm going to be looking at here. So I'm going to read it out because it's probably very small on the stream screen. So right now we're at negative 42.26, but I want to get that subpixel to a very specific value, and the way that I'm going to do that is by tapping to the right, so the cat turns just a little bit. And what I'm looking for visually, like if I didn't have the trainer on, I'm looking for the cat to do a slight shuffle but not actually take a step. So that was actually too far, because the cat kind of took a step there. So now I'm at negative 42.315. That's past the subpixel that I need. But we want a slight, oh, cat turned too much. There we go. So that was a really slight step, just a little bit of a shuffle. And the cat's now at negative 42.282. And that's exactly what we want. That 282 is the right subpixel. And I guess I'll show it again since it probably didn't look like much. That was too much right there, because the cat did a step. That was also too much.
Oh my god, it's so small.
There we go. So it was just like the slightest little movement from the cat, but the cat didn't actually take a step. The next step after that, so now we've got the position set up, now we need to get the right angle. And so to get the right angle, we do still use the camera and stuff to zoom in, and this is where the reticle comes in. This is a setting that you can turn on in the game settings. And once you turn it on, now you know exactly, where you're pointing the camera. And so we use this to look at the exact right spot that we need to be looking at. So in this case, I'm going to be looking this like weird apostrophe shape on the wall. You want to look at the right side right here. It's not super precise. It's somewhat precise, but it's not like it has to be. It's not a sub-pixel thing for this, at least. It's just generally like this area of the weird apostrophe thing on the wall. And then there's a few different ways you can do it after this. This doesn't have to be in a specific order yet. But first, we want the cat to turn around. So you can turn around before zooming in, or you can turn around after. So I'm going to turn around after. And then, now that we've got all this lined up, you want to tap to the right and jump. And the cat's going to jump on the bed in exactly the right angle for us to go through the wall. Just like that.
Oh.
And so now that we're out here...
Oh, game is mad. Game
is mad. If I stop holding it, the cat's just going to start doing things. Like, I was holding run and holding forward that whole time. If I stop, and especially if I stop running, like, you can see the cat's just getting, like, further and further away from things. And
cat is so mad.
You do get stuck in here a little bit. Our first setups for this, like, what we used to do, there's actually a couch above us. We used to have the goal of, like, getting to this couch. Oh, I'm actually, like, on the ground here. Wow. But basically the cat, like, keeps running at that weird angle through the air until you jump on something that you can actually solidly walk on. So that's why it's important to get to something that you can jump on. The setup that we use these days, you can actually just like jump onto the floor in that room that we did sleep paralysis in, but it also doesn't look as impressive to do that, so it's much more fun to go through the wall for sure.
Yeah.
But now that we've done that, you might notice we lost our probes. They're gone. Oh, and now I'm back in the air. That's okay. We'll get back.
Oh no. What is happening?
Yeah, you can't just like run directly forward, and the reason that has to do with where our probes are right now. So let's go find them. If I can get up to this. It is a little slow. This is why, like, sleep paralysis glitch isn't just an answer for everything, because it can be really slow, and the specific angle that you get can be can determine like whether or not it works for what you're trying to do. So it happens to work really well for what we use this glitch for, but not for everybody. Oh. I'm heading for right here. Okay, so I'm gonna jump back into that room where we did sleep paralysis.
Okay.
If the cat will jump. There we go. And let's go find our probes. There they are.
Oh my gosh.
So we got the probes stuck under the bed. And
oh my gosh.
The reason that we have that very specific angle when we're running is because the game is continuously applying the force that the probes are feeling to the cat. So the cat is getting pushed at this angle towards the bed continuously, which is why it kind of looked like I was running against a wind or something as I was trying to get to things. And so using that and using the angle, you can use it to, what we're going to use it for right now is to like get a trigger that's way later in the game. And that way you can just like unlock all the parts up to that game. We haven't found another place to use this glitch yet, but we have some ideas. There's a spot in Midtown that people have worked a lot on trying to find a setup for, but so far we just don't have one that's consistent for it. So like this isn't the only place you can do this glitch, it's just that this is the only one that we have like a consistent setup and it's useful right now. But yeah, so we don't need our probes. We will actually get them back. They'll come back to the cat. But
oh, weird. Okay.
The cat does really weird stuff. Like the cat's just gone sometimes. The cat just goes up sometimes.
It goes up. Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
See ya. Luckily, once you're on solid ground, it's a lot easier to move around instead of like when you're running through the void. It can be really difficult to get the cat to go where you want. Unfortunately, we're about to go right back into the void.
Perfect.
And the reason, yeah, of course, that's where we want to be, right? It's important that you have this glitch when you're in the void, because otherwise, like, if you're in the void normally, like you saw at the very beginning when I did pipe skip, you just fall infinitely. So we don't want to be in the void without something to keep us from falling infinitely, and that's one of the things that sleep paralysis helps us with. Which is not a sentence that makes any sense out of context.
Yes.
The cool thing about slums, if you've played the game casually, it's kind of the closest thing to a hub that this game has. So you are in slums 1, and then slums 1, then you go to rooftops. Then you come back to slums and you do slums 2, and then you go to dead end. And then the next chapter is technically sewers, but you come back to slums again before going to sewers, because it takes you back here, and then you like go through the door to finally leave the slums. So, because of that, we use sleep paralysis to hit the trigger for sewers, which is like the furthest level that uses slums as a hub. And the normal entrance to sewers is right there. It's that door. We're not going to go right through the door, because that doesn't work so well. But there's a few different ways you can get out of bounds here. You can get out of bounds over there along the wall with this robot here. There's also another one that you can do in the room over here. I'm just going to run straight at the robot. And now we're out of bounds again. And so you can see again that like the force of what the probes are experiencing is trying to pull me back that way. But let me see if I can... Yeah. The game's not a fan of me stopping and starting, so I think I'm going to do sleep paralysis again. But before I do that, I'm going to show you guys the trigger that we're trying to hit. So this is a mod. The Stray Trainer was made by DMG Vol, and I can use it to... No, we don't just want cat collisions. We want all collisions. So I'm using this to show collisions, and actually I don't want the cat's collisions right now. But what I'm looking for here, the trigger for loading sewers, is this box that's kind of like, it's like an orangey salmon color. I can't really tell what color it is, honestly, but if you see this specific box here, if you can sort it out from all these other lines, that is the trigger that we want to hit.
One down below.
The one down below. So that's why I'm going to restart, because this is not a good position to be in. Because like if I start running right now, oh, even if I don't start running, I'm not touching anything. The cat's just going.
Oh, no. Oh, no. We're going toward the light. Don't go to the light.
And eventually, you can fall into the void if you're not careful. So we don't really want to be out here. There's nothing for us to see out here. You can just keep going, actually. You can keep running. Bye. Bye, slums. But you can't actually reach, like... Control rooms up on one of these things around the outside is control room, but
I was gonna say, if only you could like get up there, then it'd be so fast.
It would be amazingly fast, but we just don't have a setup. If you get far enough, you'll fall into the void, I think, and you never get quite close enough to get. Oh, what is this? Oh, it's loading something around us. So this is probably rooftops. Yeah, this is rooftops. It's trying to load it for us. Oh.
Gosh, it's trying to load you in a rooftop.
Yep, I fell into the void.
Oh no!
But our probe's back.
That was close though. We're almost on rooftops. That's cool.
Yeah. Bye. Okay. Let's reset this checkpoint. We're going to do that again. I'm going to do it properly so that you can see where we're actually trying to go. And then we'll be able to load right into slums. Oh, wow, it didn't save the memory. That's interesting. One of the things that we bank on in the 100% speedrun is the fact that a lot of the memories will save, even if you don't, like, hit a checkpoint, but not all of them. Okay. So if you go out the wall, then the next thing you want to do is jump on the wood pieces so that you can get back, like, on something you can walk on.
That makes sense. Love just not seeing the cat.
There's just no cat. Yeah. The cat's gone. And so this time I'm going to run underneath the board so that I hit that trigger. And that's going to trigger sewers to load.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm going to run over here specifically just so I can use this as a cue for where I stop. Because and I'm going to pause it. You can see it like loaded and then unloaded. If you don't pause it, there's a chance that the cat falls while it's unloaded, then you fall into the void anyways, even though you're in the right spot.
Interesting.
If you're in exactly the right spot, you'll fall through the checkpoint, so then it doesn't even matter because you got the checkpoint for sewers, and the game thinks you're in sewers. But if you're not in the exact right spot, like I don't think this is the exact right spot. This one I still might fall through into the void, but hopefully not. You want to be able to walk around and get to the actual checkpoint spot. So what you'll usually see runners do is we usually switch to 60 FPS at this point because we do sleep paralysis at 30 FPS specifically. It does not work at 60. But you can see I fell. It activated the checkpoint. That's the little cat head that appears on the left side of the screen. And so now the game thinks we're in sewers. Because that's what this is. Like, you're supposed to come through... Like, if you played the game casually, you come through this like, little boardwalk area, and you come over here. But what we're supposed to be doing is joining Momo on the boat. But Momo's not quite ready to take us on the boat. He's having a little hard time getting dressed.
Huh. That's just, I didn't notice that from afar.
Yeah,
somehow.
You don't notice it until you come over here, and then you're like, that's not right. So you can't actually start sewers right now because the game is not ready to start sewers right now. It does think you're in sewers, but like everything's just slightly wrong. So we have to, if you're doing a speed run, this is where if you're doing any percent, you would just quit and then reload the chapter for sewers. If you're doing 100%, you can do the chapters in any order now. So what you're supposed to do is just like jump on this raft and then it starts going, but that's not happening obviously. So I'm gonna quit the game.
Right.
And you'll see we have all of these chapters unlocked. We came from Slums 1, but now we can do Rooftops, we can do Slums 2, we can do Dead End, and we can go straight back to sewers. And I guess the question is, I could reload the game and take the probe off. I don't know if the probe is like super distracting to people.
I mean, people have noticed it in chat, but I think it's all right. If you need it, it's okay to use it, you know? We're like purposefully trying to show the tools and things that are useful to show off how to set things up and all of that, especially if anybody at home is like, you know what, I've thought about running this game and wants to try it out.
Yeah, we have lots of awesome tools for that. I'll keep it on because I'm going to use it again at sewers and then I'll take it off after sewers. But like I said, you can do these in any order. I could do sewers right now. I'm going to go to rooftops instead. Sewers is the other one that we have a lot of fun glitches in, and so let's save some more fun glitches for later.
Okay.
This is rooftops. Actually, we spent a lot of time up here on sleep paralysis, so honestly, we don't have to spend a lot of time in rooftops. I think since this is 100%, I'll grab a memory and then I'll skip us to later. I'll skip us to where we've got a fun glitch. So this is if you were following the story of Stray, we're supposed to head through the rooftops. They send the cat because the cat can actually like run through the Zerks without dying, whereas the robots aren't fast enough. So they use the cat to, you know, do things that would be harder for them. I'm gonna grab this memory here. This is one of two that's in rooftops. The other one's at the very end. And then I'm just gonna load a save so that we can go back to a further point. Because another tool that we have, this wouldn't be possible in your casual run, but Okatsu made this awesome save manager that you can use to just like swap out your saves and make your own saves. So now this is like at the top of rooftops. Our goal is to get all the way up there. And you can take the elevator, but we're not going to. I do have to activate the elevator though. And so this glitch is called escalator, like escalator, escalator.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Gotta have the cat puns. I do have to wait for the escalator, or for the elevator to come down. And I have to, if you walk at this corner too much, you can fall through sometimes, like you'll fall to the lower floor, which I'm not trying to do right now, but it's
you can just stand there and meow, I guess, and they just...
Yeah, if you get one Zerk on you when you're sitting like this, the cat just kind of like shakes back and forth. But what I'm gonna try to do right now is jump up here. You have to jump before the elevator moves, and then this happens.
Oh my gosh! Hello.
You know, this is what cats do, right? They just walk up walls.
Do you have to wait for it, or can you just go through?
You can go all the way up. I'm not going all the way up because it'll get another checkpoint. I'm going to do it again since it happened so fast.
Okay. That was awesome.
But you do go all the way up. We don't know why this one happens. We think it's probably something to do with the fact, because like I said, you can't do it when the elevator's all the way at the bottom. So it's probably something to do with the fact that the elevator's still going down when you like walk onto that rail. So we have to wait for it to come down again. But yeah, so to do this yourself, like if you get on the elevator before it comes all the way down, you just have to like walk into the rail and you'll start moving up it. Like the rail that the elevator's going on the side here. Honestly, it might be better because sometimes it's possible to like fall through the floor of the elevator too. I've had that happen before. The cat though is like in the wall.
Yes, literally in the wall right now.
It always feels like, because like as you go up, you get progressively more and more into the wall. It always feels like you're gonna fall through it. I haven't yet. I want to one day. And it wouldn't be useful. It's just funny.
It would be very funny. Okay, so we're half in the wall.
Go up here.
Doing cat things.
Cat's doing cat things. Cats just do that. And then we're gonna have a cutscene here. And so this is the other memory that you get in this area.
That's right. But again, I guess you can skip it in the 80%.
Yeah, because you don't go to rooftops at all in any percent. You don't go to rooftops, you don't go to slums 2, you don't go to dead end. You just go straight from slums 1 to sewers.
Gotcha.
It's wild.
Right. Yeah.
Even if you're on PlayStation, you still skip rooftops on PlayStation. Nobody plays rooftops unless you're doing glitchless, I guess.
Like it all, yeah. Huh. Also, like, since we have cutscenes and stuff, do you think we're at a point where maybe we could, like, take a quick stretch break?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Definitely. We're about to head back into slums again.
Perfect. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, we'd be hopping back in slums and then...
Yeah, let's take a break.
Sweet. Yeah, as we head back in there, we like to take wellness breaks here on Hotfix for those who are maybe new to watching Hotfix content. But I hope you're enjoying the Stray goodness so far. This is awesome. I am personally loving it. So just like quick heads up as we're getting up, like feel free to get some water, grab a snack. I think I'm gonna do that, and then yeah, and then we'll be back. But we do have SGDQ coming up. That's May 28th through June 4th. We game and volunteer submissions close like they're very soon. It's tomorrow or the next day. So if you all are interested at all in trying to submit a game or become a volunteer for this upcoming SGDQ, like you need to do it now. So just, I think I saw a heads up. So
tomorrow at midnight.
Yeah, I think it's tomorrow at midnight. So if you go to gamesdonequick.com, go ahead. You can like make your profile if you don't have one, and then sign up. Go ahead and do that while we're on break. That's another thing.
Yeah.
If you're like, I'm good. I don't need to fill my water. It's already full. Like I'm not hungry or anything. Like just go sign up and see if you want to volunteer. Like submit a run. It's a good thing. So, and then I'll have more stuff I can talk about later. But yeah. Feel free to check through that, and we will be right back, everyone. And we are back with more Out of Bounds. I hope you all had a good stretch break. Checked out those volunteer and game submissions for SGDQ. And yes, that is for on-site. But hey, I'm Kungfufruitcup. If you're just joining us, welcome back. Or welcome. We are watching Passeray break down some of the glitches in Stray. This is like a 100% unrestricted category, plus some extra stuff, any like side little bits. We like to do scenic routes here on Out of Bounds because we're essentially doing glitch showcases, and it's great. So, hello, Passeray. Feel free to take it away once again. Just get us back into a countdown, and then we can continue on with our journey.
Yeah, my cat, I think, is in the background, so maybe she wants to be special guest. Oh, here she is, yeah.
Oh!
Here's Jolene. Oh, she didn't actually want to be guest. She just wanted to cause mayhem in the background. Oh, I'm so sorry, kitten. She's definitely a dimension traveler. If anybody can do the stuff that the stray cat can, I'm pretty sure it's her.
Yeah.
She goes everywhere. Okay. Anyways, let's get back into cat game. So we just came from rooftops. Now we're in the slums again. And we didn't actually do anything in slums last time, which is a little bit of a problem for 100% because this is 100%. There's a lot of stuff we're supposed to do in slums.
Right.
So we do it all the second time we go back to slums. And I'm going to do it all on here because it's going to set us up for some glitches and also strats that maybe aren't glitches, but are useful to explain for the speedrun. So I'm going to be grabbing memories. I'm going to be grabbing music sheets because we have to collect all the music sheets for the guitar playing robot Morusk.
Mm-hmm. I loved doing that and then hearing all the songs.
Yeah, unfortunately we're not going to hear all the songs.
Right. I figured. Wait, you're not going to sit through minutes and minutes of songs?
You're going to hear some of them. Okay. And I'm also going to be I'm going to be collecting these energy drinks.
Everything was to like sleep during the songs. You just take a nap.
Yeah, the nap spots in this game are so good.
Oh, they're so good.
Oh, goodbye. Oh, you know what? Let me show. There's another fun glitch we can do. I'm gonna run back up to the place where we started and show you guys. It's another weird scratching glitch, but this one's just like extra silly.
Oh, perfect.
So let's jump back up here.
We like learning about like the useful stuff and then also seeing the extra silly stuff at the same time.
So again, you can scratch on this rug. Except there's also these books you can stand on.
And then you can also scratch.
And so you can scratch from the books. But the books have their own physics, and they'll fall over. And then when they fall over, the cat just doesn't have anything to teleport back to, but still teleports back. And you can do that on the taller one, too. And this one you get an even weirder angle for the cat. And there go the books. But the cat's here, and you can just go back to nothing. You're sitting on the air. And you can keep doing this over and over again. The platform will stay there until you jump off of it, and then it's gone.
Right. Oh, that's so funny. Edie, what are you doing?
But let's go back to collecting things. We need the energy drinks because we have to buy some stuff from the shopkeeper. And one of the things... they're kind of like currency. They're also kind of not. Like, it's kind of a trade system, and so there's two different things you can buy with energy drinks. Luckily, both the things that we need to buy for 100%, you buy with energy drinks. This is a bit of a tricky jump to make, but there we go. So that's why we grabbed the energy drinks from these. There's also another glitch that you can do on the vending machines that I'll be showing in a second, too. On the next vending machine that we come to. But you're going to notice, there's 4 energy drinks in total. I'm only going to grab 3 of them because of a glitch that we're going to do. Oh, did you grab that? Yeah, you did. Okay. I'm only going to be grabbing 3 of them because I guess we're going to kind of scam the shopkeeper. Sorry to the shopkeeper. You can do the go through the door glitch here. It's a little harder at 60 FPS.
Right.
So...
Remember you swapped it to 30. How often do you swap it to 30, like mid-run for 100%?
It's just for that one part. There we go. It's just for the one part because you absolutely need 30 for sleep paralysis, and luckily none of the other glitches that we like really need to be 30.
Sure.
There's some of them excuse me. There's some of them that actually, there's others that actually need to be 60, so I guess it's lucky that there's just like that one time when we have to switch. Because it could be like we're switching constantly, and that would be really unfortunate for menuing. Menuing is not my favorite part of a speedrun.
I imagine that. Yeah, I'd be the same way.
But that was a memory where B12 remembers eating food, and it's actually like sticks of RAM in the ramen. So sticks of RAM in the ramen.
Oh. Oh my gosh. I hate that.
It's so good.
I hate it. I feel like I had a question, but it is gone.
Oh no.
I will ask it.
If it comes back.
Yes, and if anybody else has questions in chat, feel free to ask. Oh, the orange thing underneath is, you call the probe, right?
Yeah, the ground probe.
a ground probe. It basically is like a mod that's added just to show where what collision is with the ground around you to kind of center you.
Yeah, it's a
figure out where you are.
visualization of something, like it's something that the software is doing. You just normally can't see it, so it's a mod that lets you see it, like where the game thinks you're standing on, basically.
There you go. Perfect.
I'm gonna do this in a little bit of a different order because, like I said, I'm gonna show you a glitch with this vending machine. I'm going to every time you give Marusk a music sheet, you do get a save point. So I'm gonna do that with a save point just so that we can do this again if I need to, which I probably will because it's gonna glitch things. So you can see I'm sitting on top of the vending machine, but I still have the prompt to activate the vending machine. You'll see this is a theme here, right? Like we're sitting on top of it, but we still have the prompt to do something weird with it. So I'm going to do that. This is one of the first things that we explored as a way to skip slums, and so it actually has some similar effects. There we go, through the floor. It has some similar effects to sleep paralysis, but also it doesn't work to do what we want. So like,
sure.
I'm like going up and down.
Similar.
Going through walls, but it's really easy to get stuck. Like, see, now I'm stuck.
Oh, okay.
And sometimes if I can move enough, I'll get warped back. But it's not warping me back right now, which is why I'm going to reload the checkpoint, and so let's do it again. You can get to different places, but none of them are useful with the ones that we can do here. But this was one of the early possibilities that we were trying to make work, and it just doesn't. But yeah, you go like through the vending machine to get to the vending machine buttons, and then something about that you get, like through things. Oh, and I'm stuck again.
Oh,
and that's ultimately
so it's just too inconsistent to really be useful.
you can't do much with this, but it's funny. There's also a way to, like, I think store your position so you warp back to the top of the vending machine. And I've gotten that, but it's not happening right now, where I'm warping back. I'm just getting stuck. So that's why we use sleep paralysis instead of this. But I'm going to not do that this time because we do need that energy drink that keeps popping out.
Okay, so we're going to want to actually grab it.
We want to actually grab it this time.
Yeah.
And also, oh wait, no, I didn't want to grab it this time. I wanted to get it out, but not grab it this time. And it's only minorly important that I do it in that order, but it just kind of streamlines things. So I'll do it again so we get that. I'm gonna get the energy drink out. I'm gonna run over and get the safe here. This is all done in a specific order to optimize when we give all the music sheets to Marusk, and I'm forgetting the code here. Okay. There we go. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give another music sheet. Really, I wasn't supposed to give the first one. That was just like a bonus music sheet that Marusk got. Then I'm going to grab this energy drink. The reason I gave the music sheet first is now this energy drink isn't saved in that checkpoint. Because if I open my inventory, you're going to see I've got all these energy drinks that are showing up, and then I've got this other one at the end here. So there's the 2 energy drinks, there's a bunch of music sheets, and then there's this one random one at the end. And that one random one at the end is just a little bit annoying when you're trying to give them all to Marusk, because it can get in the way of the other, like, we're going to get one more music sheet, and it's going to show up after that energy drink. So then you have to, like, key over to that last music sheet. It's just annoying. We'd rather not do that. That's why we do it in that specific order. But first, before we do that, we're going to scam the shopkeeper a little bit. He doesn't know he's being scammed, I guess. But what we're going to do is we're going to pay him with the energy drinks. He's going to give us this memory, and we're going to remember it. And I guess what I didn't explain is, like, what these memories are. It's B12 doesn't remember his past. He just kind of has, like, vague ideas about it. So sometimes he'll see things and it'll spark a memory, and he'll, like, realize more about what happened. Right. So that's what this is. So B12 just remembered this. Now I'm going to reset my checkpoint. Except if I open up, once it loads, if I open up my my menu, and go to the memories tab,
It's there.
have the memory. Yeah. So it's there.
Huh.
I'm actually just missing one memory because it's the one that I'm supposed to get for sleep paralysis, but I didn't get it. But that's fine. It's close enough to 100%, almost 100%. So the memory's there, even though if I go over to my items, you're going to see that I still have all my energy drinks except for the one that I purposely picked up after the checkpoint.
Okay.
So with that, now we can go back and we can grab that music sheet without having to get a 4th energy drink. Because we already have this.
Okay.
It's not a memory for us anymore. But we need another energy drink for this. So now we have all the music sheets. We'll have 6 of them right now, because I've already given 2 to Marusk.
Mm-hmm.
And we only used 3 energy drinks to get what would normally cost 4.
That's pretty cool.
So now...
There's a thing that it saves the memory regardless of the checkpoint, I guess?
Yeah.
But it doesn't save the item.
It doesn't save the item, just the memory. And it does that with other memories. There's also some memories that you have to get the checkpoint for.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's very, very interesting how, like, it decides which ones save and which ones don't.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm also going to jump up here while that one's playing, and I'm going to grab this memory. So these are the songs that you get to hear, and then we're not going to hear any of the other songs.
Oh, yeah, okay. We got to hear a little bit, like a minute. That's good enough.
So what we would do here, I'm not going to do all of them because it gets painfully boring. I mean, it's not that long, but it's like a minute straight of just load screens. So the whole idea of this is what I would do is just keep walking into the trigger for Marusk. Make it so he plays the music, and then you see the save happens, so I can just immediately reload the checkpoint and do it again.
Oh, nice.
And just keep doing this over and over again until all of them happen. If my computer loaded them a little bit faster, then it might not be so painful for you to have to watch all these, but it takes 5 seconds each time. We're not gonna watch all that. But that's the idea. That's what we're doing here.
Skipping that badge, I guess.
You can just keep doing it until all of them are gone. And then the reason we're doing this is because Marusk gives us a badge. Mm-hmm. But after you've done the last one, after he gives you the badge, you can quit back to the main menu. And then we can use the sleep paralysis. The fact that sleep paralysis unlocked all these things, we can use it to go to the next one, which is Dead End. And this is one of the few times we see Seamus. We were supposed to do like an entire quest line with Seamus. We don't, because we did sleep paralysis. He's gonna give us a badge too. So thank you, Seamus. And I just have a few things to show in Dead End. There's relatively few glitches in Dead End compared to the other ones, but one of the things, this isn't necessarily a glitch, but it is an optimization. If you grab a checkpoint, like right here, you can see the checkpoint happened, then you can grab this memory. And again, the memories will save through the checkpoint. So if we reload the checkpoint, because we use load remove time, this is actually faster than running back to the point where the checkpoint was made.
Gotcha.
Because the load just doesn't count. But I'm gonna not do this part because, well, for one thing, there's no glitches. For another thing, then we get to skip the other part where the cat gets thrown off something, which is also kind of sad. So let's not do that.
Agreed. Okay, that sounds good.
I'm gonna load us in Doc's house. I don't have a specific glitch to show, but sometimes the physics get weird. So I'm gonna reload this checkpoint again. Watch the background. See if any items spawn from this guy. Sometimes they do. Nope, not that time. The reason that I've reloaded this checkpoint so many times is because there's a glitch that we can't explain. We can't replicate it consistently. We can replicate it, just not with anything that we're doing on purpose. Yeah, it's just not loading the weird physics. That's unfortunate. But I will explain. Oh, yep, a cup just flew from the ceiling.
Whoa.
When you talk to Doc here, though, when you talk to Doc, after this happens, he walks away. There's a glitch you can get where he doesn't walk away. He just stands there and stares at you. And when that happens, it's actually really great because... And here's the randomly broken mug. Oh, it went away. It's gone.
Disappeared.
It's great when he does that because you can still do everything with him in this area, but you don't have to wait for him to do any of the animations. So we know like what happens. Okay. He gets stuck. He gets stuck in just like an idle animation. But the reason that it's potentially, it would be useful if we could replicate it is because you can then run up here. And like as soon as you get to the top, this cutscene will start instead of having to wait for Doc to walk all the way up here. Like normally, like... So what'll happen if you get the glitch is that the window just opens on its own. Doc isn't even here. The window just opens and you can leave.
Okay.
But unfortunately, it seems random. Maybe it isn't random, but we definitely don't have a way to make it happen consistently for a run. It would save like 10 seconds, especially like on if you're playing on PlayStation. So that would be cool if we could figure that out.
Gotcha.
But that's what we've got in Dead End. Now we can move on to Sewers.
And that's it.
Sewers has another good glitch.
That's like basically that whole section.
Yeah, that was that whole section for the run because you can just quit and leave. You don't have to finish Dead End. You just have to get the last memory and then peace out. You're supposed to like go through this whole thing where you lead Doc back to the slums because he's been trapped out in the slums. Doc is a reference to Back to the Future, by the way. And his son is Seamus, who's like a Marty McFly reference, which is pretty good.
I know, I love the references. I think they're awesome.
So you're supposed to get Doc back to the slums, but because we already unlocked Sewers, we don't have to do that because we just have to get the memories. So that was the last memory there, and we just left.
Yes.
And so this time, now we're back at Sewers, and this time, Momo looks normal. Momo has his clothes on. And if we get on the raft, it'll start like normal.
I'm glad that he's finally ready to go.
He's ready to go after all this time.
You did it! You got the jacket on.
The first part of Sewers is an auto-scroller, which again, I'm going to skip for the purposes of not having to sit through an auto-scroller. I will say, though, there's like an unuseful glitch. If you like walk the wrong way on the edge of this, it's just like what I was talking about in Rooftops, where you can fall off the raft and then you're just like stuck. So you probably, if you're doing a run, you probably want to avoid like sitting too close to the edge. I don't know exactly how it works. Just like sometimes you're at just the right angle where you like fall off the front, which is not cool.
Right.
But let's get a later save. Let's get here. Oh, it won't let me with this cutscene, will it? Alright, well, I guess we have to play through this. Oh, wait, no. I quit out. It'll let me. That'll be fine. So you're supposed to do this whole part where you take the boat and get to a part where eventually Momo can't follow you anymore. But it's like the part of the game that's an auto-scroller, so not super interesting for glitches. We don't have a way to skip it yet. But what I will be showing you, this is the other glitch where it's useful to be able to see these probes. So again, this is the ground probe. It makes sure that the cat doesn't like walk off edges or walk into water and stuff, except we're going to break it again, and this time we are going to walk into water. So this glitch is called Water Run. And we have a pretty consistent setup for it, but at the same time, it's still not totally consistent, unfortunately. So it still does kill runs, like if you're going for a top time and you just happen to not get it. Because like with sleep paralysis, the goal is to get the probe stuck. The way that this one works is a little bit different, though. It still does operate on like you want to get a very specific angle that you're using to jump onto the barrel that's right here. And so what I'm doing right now, I'm lining up the cat's foot with this like rust mark.
Oh, I see. Okay.
There's like this little line. Right now the cat's back foot is right on a line of rust. And so using that, I can kind of estimate where the camera needs to be for this glitch to work. Because depending on where the cat's foot is, you want to look at a bit of a different spot so that you get the right angle and get the ground probe stuck. So for me, I just jump onto the barrel. And then the important thing, and this again goes back to why I have the reticle on. I have the reticle on so that I know exactly where I'm looking there. So in that case, the cat's foot was like on the rust, maybe a little bit, I think it was a little bit ahead of the rust. So I'm gonna look a little bit over here. If the cat's foot's behind the rust, I'd look a little bit over here. Other people have their own setups, but this is like the general idea of what we know about it right now.
Okay.
And then once you're looking at the right spot, you wanna press run and forward and then release, and the cat will teleport back here.
Weird, okay.
And now the ground probes are gone. The cat doesn't have the ground probes anymore. And so this is the moment where you like cross your fingers and hope that everything is right, because there's two options after you get here. One option is that you got water run, and when you jump back on the barrel, you'll walk into the water. Option 2 is that you got teleport state or TP state, and when you jump on the barrel, you'll teleport back to the rail, which is not useful, and you have to reload the checkpoint. So I guess let's see what happened. Oh, I got water run. Okay. So, I got water run. I'm in the water. Let's go find our probes.
Ooh.
They're in the barrel.
Oh my, what?
So the probes are in the barrel there.
It thinks they're in the barrel.
It thinks I'm in the barrel.
Sure.
And the reason that that's important is because this one's a little bit different. My cat is knocking things over in true cat fashion. The reason that this one's a little different is you don't want it to be like constantly applying force to the cat, like for sleep paralysis. For this one, what we're trying to do is when we get the probe stuck, it thinks that everything at the Z location of the probes is ground. So, so the Z location is the up and down. So everything at this specific elevation is ground to the game right now. So that includes water. That includes air. That includes things that we're not supposed to walk on. And that means that we can, obviously as I'm walking through the water, that's why it's called water run, but you can also walk on other things that you're not supposed to be able to walk on, which I'll show in a minute once I get to the next part of the game. Mm-hmm. The other thing that can happen, the TP state that I mentioned, that can happen if the probes aren't at the same location when they get stuck. Because in that case, the game doesn't think that anything is a valid location, and so it keeps teleporting you back to the same, or to the last place that it thinks is safe, which is the rail. So you can never leave the rail. You're just stuck on the rail, and that's why you have to reload the checkpoint and try again. And that's what really gets people in runs, is that they'll get like the TP state instead of the water run state, and then they'll have to reload the checkpoint, and then if you're going for a top time, that's just slow.
Right.
And especially people going for top times won't even like get a checkpoint beforehand. They'll just like run straight to the water run location, so they don't even have a checkpoint to go to.
Ooh, okay.
Run's just dead.
You just gotta try.
Just go for it. Once you get water run, there's two different ways you can get through this door. You can get through it the intended way, which is to use both of these consoles. If you activate them, it'll open this door for you. But we have another way to do it, which is to clip through the door. And this was discovered later. At first, when we first discovered water run, we were just like doing it normally and like opening the door and running through it. But we don't have to do that anymore. If you get up next to this barrel, you can go through it on this side. You can also go through it if you face the other way. Oh, and I just popped through it without meaning to. So it's actually not usually that easy. Usually this one is mean to me and doesn't work.
And that's not the first time that's happened today either.
No, it isn't. The game is pretending like it's nice right now to trick all of you into running it. No, this is a fun run. You should learn it. The way that I do it is to look at this spot, and then you can tell pretty fast if the cat will go through. And if the cat's not in a position to go through, I just like run back out and run back in. Because if you look at this spot and then move to the left, or sorry, I'm pressing right and the cat's moving left. And that's perfect. That's what we want, because now we're pressed like right up against this wall right here. And so what should happen is that when I press to the left, the cat will actually go left this time and go through the wall like that. So it was that wall that was kind of like stopping us, and now we're through it. Because you can see like the barrel is kind of actually like halfway in the wall. This is the wall that we clipped into. And now I'm outside again, so we'll do it again. But this is deceptively difficult. There's another way you can do it where you just kind of like spin in here and you can get through it. Oh, yep, like that. This is working so much easier. Like I've spent 5 minutes straight trying to get through this wall before, so the game's being really nice today. But once you're through here, This is important for the next
Whoa.
cutscene skip. Yeah, we're like under the
Kinda underneath.
garbage.
Oh my gosh.
And so we want to get back up so that we're not under the garbage. The goal is not to stay here. You want to get back up here. So there's a prompt you can get. This one's not too hard to get. You can just like get a prompt to jump up on this right here.
Cool. Okay.
You do have to be careful though not to like jump on one of these barrels because then you're back inbounds. You just want to make sure that you get the prompt for this one and not a barrel.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, I see.
Because otherwise, I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's just not fast. You'd have to do it again.
Yeah.
Or else open the door.
Now we're past the door.
But now we're past the door without opening it. And this
What time
is...
does that save, did you say?
Oh.
What time would you say that saves?
You know, I should have pulled up. We have like a time save doc that will tell like exactly how much each of these saves.
Oh, that's cool. That's so handy.
It's really awesome. Let me...
I don't typically
If you
hear
go
that
to the
happening very often.
speedrun.com page, you guys can find this too. If you go to the speedrun.com page, there's a link to under the guides to Stray, glitches, exploits, and strats, and it has like all of them listed with who discovered them and also like how to do them and how much time it saves. So let me go back and actually look at this because somebody asked about pipe skip. So if you do nap skip plus pipe skip, it saves like 1:05 to 1:20 seconds. So that's the answer for the person who asked about pipe skip and nap skip, and that's both of them together because people usually do both of them together.
Oh, this is so cool.
And then for sewers, water run saves about 45 seconds to a minute. Door skip saves another like 6 seconds on top of that.
That's cool. Okay, I'm caught up. I found that page. That's really cool.
Yeah, so again,
useful.
if you go to speedrun.com under the guide section for Stray, you can find it.
Again, so if anybody is potentially interested in running this game, like there's a really thorough, useful document and like all kinds of guides and stuff. This is like awesome when you see communities coming together to be like, yeah, we want to help, like make it easy for people to learn this game, to get better, etc. You love to see it.
Yeah, I worked a lot on the guide document, and it was so cool, like being able to document the things as they were happening, and also just going back and finding the stuff that like had been discovered before we made the document. But it's really made me want to do that for other communities that I'm a part of because it's so cool to have like a history of the strats, and also like it has all the ones that we don't use too. It has the ones that you can do but don't save time. It has some alternative strats that you can use too. Like there's a lot of resources out there for you to learn.
I love that.
All about all the glitches. But now we're in here, and this is the real reason that water run saves a bunch of time. If you've played the game casually, you'll remember the giant creepy eye cutscene. But the good news for you is that we're gonna skip that. And let me show you actually the triggers again.
Ugh, I hate the eyes are the worst. Yeah, speedrunning is very collaborative. I agree. I agree with chat here.
So this one's kind of hard to see what the trigger is, but the trigger is over here. It's this box. You don't want to hit that because that's what triggers the giant creepy eye cutscene. So we're not going to.
The rectangular one or the big square one behind it? Kind of square.
That's actually a really good question.
There's this taller center one here.
It is
the
Oh, no, it's not this one. Sorry. Yeah, it's not this one that's closer. It's this one that's further away.
Okay, cool. Okay.
It's at like the end of, so I can walk onto this part and nothing's gonna happen.
Gotcha.
It's a trigger for something. I don't actually know what that one does though. Let me turn this off though so that we're not constantly overwhelmed by the lines. So we're trying to not hit the one that's down at the end here.
Right.
And the reason that water run is really useful is because, like I said before, it thinks that everything that's at the elevation of our probes is ground. So I can just like walk around down here and it thinks this is ground.
Oh, weird. Okay.
And so we can totally skip the trigger for the giant eye cutscene. If I jump up here, if you're doing this, make sure you don't press forward or any direction while you're jumping because that will cause weird things to happen. I'm gonna jump up here and I'm gonna grab the checkpoint, but then you can actually, if you do press a direction while you're on an edge and you do have weird things happen, you can actually use it to like get even more out of bounds. Let me see if I can get out of bounds here. Oh, I'm stuck in the eye.
Ooh,
that's
gross,
totally
gross.
normal, right? Oh, we're in the eye.
Gross.
Yeah, this part of the game is really gross. There we go. So this is not useful for the speedrun, but we are just like we are way out of bounds right now.
We're way.
There's out of bounds, and then there's way out of bounds. We're way out of bounds. So this is what it looks like outside of Stray. Like, you can see there's some pipes that lead to nowhere.
Cool.
Oh, you can apparently jump on this one. That's interesting. It gave me a jump prompt.
What happens if you jump on it?
I don't know. Let's see if I can get it to appear again. Oh, it doesn't want to appear. Oh, okay. Oh, that was weird. I don't know what I'm on. I don't know where I am. Okay, we're back. It was like a vertical thing I stepped on.
Weird. Huh. This is really cool.
Oh, yep. There we go. That is definitely how the cat's supposed to walk on things, right? And you can go back further. So this is the room where we did water run. The pipe where we did water run is actually right there. That's the pipe.
Okay.
And you can run back past it too. You can go back to earlier parts. So we didn't see the earlier parts. There's the eyes from the back.
Right.
Very creepy. Interesting that it's showing all the collisions for these things. I don't know why, because I turned them off, but I guess it is still on somehow. You can jump on these other things too. Like there's jump prompt here. Oh, and you can activate the Zerks. They just can't get to you because you're out of bounds.
Oh, interesting. And they can't fall out of bounds.
They can't. They're not that cool.
How far forward can you go as well?
If you go far enough forward, you will fall into the void. Just like if you go far enough back, you'll fall into the void. So, like I said, we didn't actually see this part of the game, but like this is going back further in sewers. There's actually a memory I didn't grab that you can grab here. You can get stuck in bounds in this area, so I'm going to try not to do that. But like there's another memory in here that I didn't get. We're going to pretend I did since this is 100%, but oh, I am stuck here. And so at this point now I am like in bounds, and I actually might even be just like stuck permanently at this point because I don't think there's anything for me to walk on back here. Let me see if I can walk out this way. No, I'm getting further. I'm getting stuck on things. Yeah, it's really easy when you're out of bounds to just like get stuck in things that, because you're not supposed to be here. There's all these like walls that are supposed to keep you in, except you're already out. So
right, except you're already on the other side. Yeah.
So this is where if I reload the checkpoint, it'll take me back, but I won't have the water run state anymore, so I won't be able to get like back out of bounds. It's unfortunate. I was gonna try to fall into the void, but you guys have seen falling into the void already. So now it puts us back past this cutscene. And if you remember the cutscene, B12 burns out during it. Like B12 uses the defluxer, this purple light, to save you from the Zerks, and then you no longer have a defluxer because B12 uses it all to save your life. And B12 also gets like damaged in that. So you pick up B12 and just like run for both your lives. Except the cutscene never happened. So we have B12.
So B12's fine.
B12's fine. There's also no music.
Yeah, I noticed that. Can you still use the power thing, or is that not?
Yeah, you can still use the defluxer.
That's right.
But you can use it to like, that's what it would normally do, is it would explode the Zerks. Except usually we just shake them off, but you can also explode the Zerks. And so this whole thing is supposed to be like a dramatic chase with music where you're running for your life, except now it's just dead silent. And we're fine because we have a weapon anyways. And when we get to the end, right when we get to the end, the music's gonna start playing for just like a second. It cues the music and then it stops.
Awesome.
But now we're here, and now B12 is actually injured because this is like the next part that's supposed to happen, and it doesn't know that we saved B12 from his fate.
Oh, and the defluxer just suddenly doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, whoops, we broke the defluxer. We don't know why. But that is Water Run, and that is Sewers. Cool. And now we're on to Ant Village.
Yes. Let's go through the dock alongside now. It's really fun.
So in Ant Village, this is where I am going to show you a cutscene skip. So I'm going to use the trainer again to So again, the cutscene skips that I've been talking about, if you're doing any percent, all of them, you would do all of these. Because I'm not, I usually walk right into the triggers, but this is the one that we do use in 100%. But not the first time. First we trigger it like you're supposed to, and then we come back and we do it again, and we do the cutscene skip. And the reason for that is because this cutscene causes B12 to have an existential crisis. And when B12 is having an existential crisis, we can't use him to pick up objects, talk to people, or get memories, which is slow for the speedrun. And I'm sorry, B12, you're not allowed to have an existential crisis during our speedrun. So the trigger, the box that I'm looking at is, again, this like pinkish rectangle that's in front of me. So actually, I'm going to walk into it first anyway, so you're going to see me walk into it. But the second time, I'm going to show off what exactly is happening when I do a cutscene skip. So first, I'm going to walk into it. You can see the cat hit it, and it stopped, and then now the cutscene started. And so this is where B12 realizes that he might not just be a robot. And that, understandably, causes him to need to process that. So if you were in any percent, you would just skip this completely. In 100%, I'm going to wait for the checkpoint to appear, and then I'm going to quit. And the reason that I quit is because if you simply reload the checkpoint, B12 is still not going to work, because he's still in that state where he's not supposed to work. But if you reload the entire chapter, now B12 will work again. And I know this because if I press the help button, B12 brings up the help prompt. And that's important because that's exactly what we're trying to do, is we're going to be bringing up the help prompt at the same time that we cross the trigger for the cutscene. So let's show the collisions again. So again, it's this box that's like right ahead. And this is like the real reason that we need either a macro or a free scroll mouse, because if you have the macro or a free scroll mouse, you can just scroll down and you're going to be pressing help on like every frame possible pretty much. Whereas if you're just like, even if you just have it on like your normal mouse, you don't press it that many times. And so it's really important for this because that just increases the chances that you're actually going to get the cutscene skip. So as I walk into this cutscene, I'm going to scroll down on the mouse to open up the help menu. And if it works, usually B12 will make a noise twice, and that means that you got it. Sometimes it still works even if he doesn't make the noise twice, just because of like how you stepped through the prompt.
Gotcha.
But when he makes the noise twice, that's how you know you absolutely got it. I'm a little bit close to this, so I'm going to back up a little bit. And usually you do it at running speed, so you just kind of get a feel for where that trigger is, and you run towards it. And you heard he did it twice. Which means that now we're free to just walk. And there's no cutscene.
That's cool. That's very cool.
And so I know all of these are still on. I'm going to leave them on for just a little bit more. So I guess enjoy all the weird boxes while you can.
Yes.
These are all the things you can walk on, and also some other stuff too.
You need stuff over here for...
Yeah, so normally what you have to do if you don't do the cutscene skip, you have to hit the trigger for the cutscene and then go all the way to the top to talk to Baltazar, and then B12 kind of snaps out of it and says, you know, sorry, I'm ready for us to continue. And then you'd have to go back down to get these things, like the flower and stuff like that. But because B12's not in that state, we can just grab these things like as we get to them instead of having to like go up and then down. So I'm gonna go back up, and the reason that I still have this on is because there's actually a second trigger that we have to I wouldn't say avoid, but we have to be aware of it, because otherwise you will soft lock even though you got the first cutscene skip. So there's another trigger that encompasses this whole like upper floor. You can see there's a trigger, you can kind of see the box here, that's like on this upper floor right in the area where you jump up to. And when you hit it, you're supposed to get more dialogue from B12. If you just get that dialogue and then don't do anything, you won't be able to talk to Baltazar, and the game just like soft locks you there because you can't talk to Baltazar. But there's two different things you can do. If you accidentally get the dialogue because you didn't skip it, you can just open the help prompt again and it will fix the state that you're in, and then you can talk to Balthazar. Or the reason that it's really nice to jump from here is because while you're in the air, you won't open the help prompt. So as I'm jumping, I can just be scrolling and the help prompt will activate as soon as I hit the ground, which is exactly what we want it to. So that's what I'm going to do right here. And so you can see this is still the same help prompt that we got at the very beginning. Let's see if we can find Balthazar, because the game hasn't like been signaled to move to any of the next dialogue. And so you can actually jump up to this area from over here too, but you can see the trigger is actually in a different spot. It's not as easy to just like jump and then scroll help, because the trigger's right here. So you have to be very like aware of where exactly this trigger is. Whereas if you jump from down here, you know that you just have to be pressing help like in the air so that you get the help prompt as soon as you like land.
Okay.
So that's why it's better to go up over there. You can do it from over here. It's just you're gonna miss it more likely. And now, well, I don't know. You guys could see some more triggers. You guys can see what happens when we walk up here. So this is Balthazar. Again, there's more triggers up here. And this is where we get a cutscene. And I'm gonna turn them all off now so that we're not like constantly overwhelmed by all the lines.
By like so many lines, right?
Okay, so now Balthazar has given us the picture of Clementine. We can keep going, but again, this is 100%. There's a few more things we want to do. Including grabbing all these plants. Did I miss a plant?
Flowers.
I think I missed a plant. I think I missed a plant at the bottom because I think I didn't walk all the way over because I was showing off the help prompt. That's okay. We're going to pretend like I got all the flowers, just like we're going to pretend like I didn't skip large portions of the sewers.
Right.
So what you're supposed to do is give these flowers to her, and then she gives you a badge. Very important that she gets all the flowers. The badges generally you just get for like helping people, and then like one of them you get for looting a police corpse in Midtown. Don't know, like that one just feels like they just threw it on there because they could.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But we're about to enter Midtown actually. So this is the end of Ant Village.
And so total, we've saved like minutes and minutes and minutes already.
Yeah. And Midtown, there's one more big flashy glitch that we have, but Midtown also has a lot of just like really silly ones. So the first thing though, there's another cutscene you can skip here, and actually, you know what? Since we've already spent a lot of time doing things, let's skip this cutscene too. So this cutscene, the trigger's up here on these steps, so if you run through it, you just want to open the help prompt. I was early, I think. The cool thing about cutscene skips is that if you miss it, you can just like walk forward and open the help prompt again. And that's how I have to have hit it, just because I know I'm already past the prompt. So there would be a cutscene right here, but we just skipped it.
That's cool.
And so now we're in Midtown. There's some important things that we want to do in Midtown before we can do the big fancy glitch. But there's a smaller glitch at the beginning. First I'm gonna grab this badge. This is like the special shiny badge. It's the only one that like sparkles. It's just like in a safe up here. I don't know why it's in a safe up here. But this one like actually shines, whereas the other ones are almost impossible to see on the on the jacket.
Huh. Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, so this next one is called either Hat Skip or Cat in the Hat Skip. You don't actually skip the hat. So both of those names are kind of like a little bit misleading, but we do skip to the hat. Normally what you're supposed to do, like if you talk, so you need this hat that's at the window here. If you talk to this guy, he's like, we're not open yet. We're waiting for the workers to like bring the delivery or something. What you're supposed to do is like do the next part of the game, and then something happens where you can go into the bar and wake up one of the workers, and he'll come out here and like bring a box in that you can hide in so that you can get into the shop. Because you're a cat and you can hide in boxes. Instead of doing that, we do hat skip. And the first way of doing it is to just like throw yourself at this grate and like hope that the trigger pops up, because that's the goal. You see this stick on the other side, you're trying to hit it. You're trying to hit the grate in a way that you get just far enough through it, not all the way through it, but far enough through it that the game gives you a prompt to remove that. And actually, I haven't looked at if there's, I don't know if there's
And I assume that'll like
a collision on it.
Through.
Oh yeah, there is a collision on it. So you want to hit that box on the inside so that what the cat will do is the cat will interact with it. It'll open the grate, but more importantly, the cat will also be on the other side of the grate at that point.
Perfect.
So our first setup for it was just like the YOLO strat where you... Oh, it didn't actually turn off those. Let me do that again. There we go. Okay. Our first strat was like the YOLO strat where you throw yourself at this grate and spin a lot and then hope that you get like the prompt to go through. Which does work, and... Oh, and yeah, you can trip the robots. It does work. It's just that you might have to do it a lot of times. You can kind of see it almost popped up a few times for me.
Yeah, it did.
If you get it first try, it's definitely faster even than the safe strat. But the safe strat that I think most people use at this point, because the other thing about that other method is that it's a lot easier if you have your interact button bound to the scroll wheel as well. And you're gonna see, like, this is like the 4th time I've mentioned binding something to scroll, and you only have one scroll wheel. So it was just super inconvenient to have interact bound there. It didn't make any sense anymore because then you're having to like make trade-offs and stuff. So this one is a lot easier to get without having to like bind interact to the scroll wheel. Because having it on the scroll wheel would make it easier when you're like throwing yourself at the wall basically and hoping that like one of the frames it gives you is the frame that you can get into the wall. Mm-hmm. But we don't do that anymore usually. Some people do. If you walk up against here and like run so that you're exactly parallel, the cat, if you're on 60 FPS, if you're on 30 FPS, it doesn't work as much. If you're on 60 FPS, the cat will usually turn so that like it goes into the wall. It'll turn to like from this direction, it'll turn to the right so that you go into the wall and then you can get the interact. So let me see if this, oh, I turned the wrong way. That's okay. We'll just do it again. And I turned the wrong way again. Which is where I hope I'm on 60 FPS. But the game looks like it's 60 FPS, so... It'll be one of these times. Sometimes it just takes... It has to do with the angle that you're at. You want to be, like, perfectly parallel. There we go. And so the cat warps inside.
Oh, nice.
Opens it. So now you're also free to leave. And you can just grab the hat. And the hat's important for later, because we need to give somebody a disguise.
I never realized you could open that grate, by the way. So that's really cool to know.
Yeah, actually, you don't necessarily need it, I guess. I'm gonna skip some of these memories. This is almost 100%. It's kind of 100%. It's the general shape of 100%. But I don't want to run out of time to explain everything, so we don't need everything.
Okay, we're still under 2 hours, so we maybe we could take another break soon if you want. It depends on...
Oh, yeah.
How far would you say we are through the run at this point?
3/4 maybe?
Yeah, I was gonna say we're definitely getting there.
Midtown is one of the I think Midtown is the longest split.
The longest split?
Yeah, so this has a lot of stuff to do, so I'm gonna shorten Midtown a little bit. Whoa, look at all these cool skips I found.
Do you want to take a quick break then in that case?
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
So that we can
go into
get back.
Midtown. Yeah.
Yeah, and we can like go over real quick like what you want to do for the last section. There's always so much in the games that we have on the show to explain, and so like sometimes we just have to get through what we can. You know, sometimes we go a little late. We're here to show these things to you. So this has been awesome so far. Again, feel free to check out those SGDQ game and volunteer applications if you want to submit, especially for on-site, because that's about the end. We also are going to be at PAX East. So GDQ is going to be at PAX East, which is March 23rd to the 26th. So later on this month, that's going to be really cool. So feel free to do that. You can always check out what GDQ is up to while you're waiting for this couple minutes by doing exclamation links in the chat. You can go follow GDQ on all the other accounts and all that stuff. But we're going to take a quick stretch. you know, do whatever you got to do, and we'll be right back, everyone. Alrighty, and we are back with more Out of Bounds. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed this quick break and have been loving the Stray glitch breakdown. It's been awesome. We have Pastor Ray here who has been showing us the glitches, how they work, how they set up, you know, what they do, and some kind of like fun extra things all along the way of this kind of like 100% unrestricted run scenic route. It's great. So I'm going to hand it back off to you, Pastor Ray, and I will be here if you need me for anything and to, again, answer any questions from chat. And yeah, let's check out the last section of the game, or the last bit of the game.
Thank you. Actually, I guess I should think about if I want to even show this part of the game. Our 100%-ish run. Yeah, actually, I do need to show this part of the game. So this part's pretty quick. Oh, what did I do? Oh, I think I didn't show this. Okay. So we're going to, actually I probably don't need to do that. It doesn't matter. This is just a little bit of setup so that we can go and get into factory. That's where our next glitch is in factory. I am gonna skip one of the badges, but we do still need to do this. Oh, that camera just flung out of nowhere. See, the physics, they just aren't very consistent. But we broke the cameras on purpose. 1, because we're a cat. 2, because the robots want to dance, and I guess the man is keeping them down. I don't know. I guess they can't dance with the cameras on. Oh. I will say, sometimes running this with like the free scroll wheel, sometimes the help prompt just gets triggered just because like I bounce my mouse too much and then like the mouse scrolls. So that's interesting. But we're gonna get inside jail on purpose. Or not jail, factory on purpose. And you'll notice the items are actually in the wrong order there because we picked up the hat early. And then this is just a fun little optimization thing. You can actually do this in glitchless, but if you jump into the box, and like if you have it so that you can see the box prompt and you talk to Blazer, you can actually jump into the box before that cutscene happens. You can see like the cat started to jump in, and now we're already in it when Blazer says like, get in the box.
Oh, interesting.
And I'm gonna take this opportunity to take us further into factory than we already are. If you've played Stray, you're supposed to go through the factory and avoid getting shot by the like lasers of the sentinels. They're tasers, like electrical beams, I guess, but like it's a one-shot kill on the cat, unfortunately. So you don't want to get hit by them. You can kind of see them. Oh, you actually can't see them in this area. This save apparently didn't load them. They're like dead, which is very convenient for us. Those things are supposed to be like deadly, but they're not even here. I loaded an area at the end. I got us to a save point, like at the very end of the factory, because the reason we're in factory is we're trying to get this battery here. And there's 2 like kind of glitches. One of them's not maybe a glitch, it's more of like an optimization, but there's one that's definitely a glitch. So we call these little robots Roombas, or I guess like you could also call it a box robot. I think the guide does sometimes, but the guide also sometimes calls them Roombas. Okay. They're Roombas, I don't know. You know? They're not supposed to be able to head out of their areas. They have very specific spots that they're supposed to be in, and they usually will like stop at the boundary. But if you take the barrel outside of their boundary and then have them follow you, they will follow you outside of their areas. So now we've just freed the Roombas. I don't actually know if this one can get around here. Okay, there we go. And you can take this one like all throughout factory. The one thing that you can't do is like get it to cross water, so it will not follow you infinitely. But it goes down the stairs, just, you know, a little weird. It's fine. Luckily, the sentinels are deactivated right now, because otherwise they would be, like, trying to hit us, but they're not. But it can't, like, follow you across the water, which is really unfortunate, because, like, otherwise you'd be able to take these around Midtown. It would actually be really useful for glitches if we could take them around Midtown, but we just can't.
Take it out, with you. Right.
Because they'll stop, like, at edges and things like that. So, maybe in the future, we'll be able to fully free the Roombas. Whoops, that was a weird camera thing.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day. I do have to wait for this one to come back, or I'll reload the checkpoint. We're not gonna wait for it to come all the way back. That's slow. I'll reload the checkpoint here. And the next thing I'm gonna show, like I said, it's not necessarily a glitch. It's definitely an optimization. It's definitely not intended. Whether it's a glitch or not, I guess you could decide. Because we could have a whole discussion about what is a glitch and what isn't a glitch.
Mm-hmm.
But what you're supposed to do to solve this puzzle is put the 2 Roombas on the pressure pads on the outsides, and then use the barrel to cover the pressure pad on this side. But we're just going to cover 2 of them, and then we're going to basically run for it to get the battery in time. So to set it up, I'm going to move this up here. And then we move this one over here. And so again, what you're supposed to do, if you see when all of them are activated, the battery comes down, and you're supposed to have it be like that so that you can just walk forward and grab it. But if you run really fast and jump on the right spot of that barrel, you can grab the battery before it goes all the way up. And I didn't get it there. I wasn't on the right spot on the barrel. Oh, I didn't wait for it to come all the way down. Unfortunately, this one takes a bit of patience. Oh, I actually didn't mean to press it there. 4th time's the charm. There we go. And then you can actually jump off the barrel and stuff. I didn't mean to jump to the Roomba over here, but you can jump off the barrel and get more towards the exit too, so that you can save even more time.
That's cool.
Another thing that is a glitch that's really not very useful. There is a place you can jump right here.
What? They just randomly have collision there?
Yeah, randomly collision here. But again, unless you can jump into the bucket again, you're just stuck.
Oh no.
So, not useful. Very funny though.
Oh my gosh.
It's really pretty.
It is very pretty.
Also maybe not good if you're afraid of heights.
A little scary. Yeah.
But you can see the areas where the Zerks have their nests and stuff. You can see this is I guess that must be the slums. Because we're in Midtown. Anyways, so that is some of the fun glitches in Factory. I'm going to take us to here. We're gonna go back to Clem's place. This is where we're supposed to head anyways. I'm just gonna get us there faster. Oh wait, it saves us here anyways. Okay, well, I mean, we were stuck anyways, so. Now we're here. Is there a closer one that I have? Guess I don't. Oh, maybe I do. What's this one? Oh no, that's probably not good. I'm not gonna activate that one. Maybe I should name my saves better. We're gonna go... This is setting up for the next big glitch, which is called Cat Jam. Which doesn't really tell you what the glitch is. But it's named Cat Jam because cats. And it's in the club.
Okay.
But unfortunately, first we have to get to the club, so... it is actually important that we have... it's important to have a checkpoint in Clem's house. So even I would always have to have this checkpoint anyways. I'd have to start at Clem's house to just do this trick in the first place. So let's start at Clem's house. Or I shouldn't say for Cat Jam, it's for the 100% version of Cat Jam. You have to start at Clem's house. If you're doing any percent, you don't have to start at Clem's house, but you still do. Just because that's where you are. Because it's important to have a checkpoint, specifically somewhere that's not club. So I just have to grab these things really quick. And then it's going to tell us to go to club, which is exactly what we already know. I'm going to hope that I don't get hit by this guy. If you sit here, he can't see you. Then he just kind of loses you, which is very useful when you're about to get hit by him. Oh. So now we're about to get to club. This is where more fun begins. We've already had some fun. This is where more fun begins. So in 100%, Cat Jam is performed on this window ledge.
Okay.
In 100% though, you need to get into club to do some things. And once you leave the window ledge, the window closes. You cannot get back to it. But luckily we have another way around that. This is why that save is important. If I reload the checkpoint, it's going to take me back to Clem's house. But if I reload the checkpoint again, it's going to actually place me in club, but the window is going to be open.
Weird, okay.
Because it's like it's transferred your location to club. When you sat in the window, it transferred your location to club, but it didn't set the triggers for the window being closed. Mm-hmm. So if I were actually doing 100%, this is where I'd like grab some things, grab a memory. I'm gonna grab this drink just because I can. You're not supposed to be able to take items out of club, but you can, because we're gonna do a glitch called Cat Jam. So I'm gonna grab this record too. This is my record now. I do have to put it down to talk to Alex. This is my record now, though. I'm gonna take it with me. They don't need it. Can I pick it up again? Okay, there we go. Okay, so this is Cat Jam with a record in my mouth. You don't have to have the record. The record is totally optional for doing Cat Jam, I promise. It's just funny. So, the way that Cat Jam works, when you are on this ledge and jump inside club, that triggers the game to deload all of Midtown and start loading jail, which is the next place that we go to. So if I were to jump to this ledge that you can see right here, the window would close, I wouldn't be able to get back out, and all of Midtown would be gone. But there's a prompt that you saw for just a second there. If you run all the way onto the side of the window, for just a second you get a prompt on the left side that's outside. And if you jump to that, it still has the same effect where it deloads all of Midtown, but you're on the outside of the club. Like that. So now the window's gonna close, you get the checkpoint, except, watch over here, because that's not Midtown.
What? Oh!
It's gone.
What? And you can see like that rooms, like the windows.
Yeah, so this is jail from the outside. And actually jail's also below us. And so the cool thing about this glitch too, so obviously on PC, things load very quickly. Oh, look at that tree over there. You can just see the roots.
Oh, that's so, because they just wanted it to lean in for effect.
And so like these are things I guess that you could probably see from inside clubs, so they still stay here, like the lights and stuff. If you're on a PS4, the PS4 is so slow that it can't like deload. The reason that it starts doing this when you jump into the club is basically because like it can take a long time if you have poor hardware. Like there was one time on my PC that like, I don't know, maybe I had too many Chrome tabs open or something, but like I got out here and I did the glitch to get into jail, and I actually just fell into the void because jail wasn't loaded yet. So it is possible for it to take a long time to load jail, and if you're on PS4, it takes so long to load jail, and it takes so long to deload Midtown, that you can actually run to a position in Midtown that corresponds to the very end of jail before jail loads. And then when Midtown deloads around you, you fall into the end of jail and just skipped all of jail.
You skip all of it?
You just skip all of it.
Oh my gosh.
But that's just on PS4. Actually, PS4 is now faster than PS5 because it's so bad at loading things.
So like that actually like works in your favor.
Yeah, it works in your favor specifically for this glitch. For everything else, I mean, the load times are still longer on PS4, so you still have to deal with that.
And everything else makes it less worth it.
Anyways, I'm out here. I have my record. The record's not necessary. Again, it's just funny. The place that we're trying to get is directly below us, so if you run here, eventually the cat will fall through. Sometimes you get this weird like teleport, and if that happens, you can just like try again. Oop, yep, that too. And eventually the cat will just like, pop off the edge. And you're in jail.
Suddenly we're in jail. We're already out.
And so what was supposed to happen is you were supposed to like get captured, and B12 also gets captured and you no longer have B12. Except we do have B12. I don't know if I can pull him out. Okay, I can pull him out with the record. But we do have B12. He wasn't taken away from us. And because of that, we can actually still like do things with him. We can still talk to people. Because again, B12 is not only like the thing that holds, and it feels wrong calling him a thing, the entity that holds our items, he also translates for us. So we can't talk to the robots without B12. And the crazy thing is that the developers actually put dialogue in if you talk to these robots with B12, even though you're not supposed to have B12 at this point.
Right.
So I'm just gonna, you know, run in with my record that I took from the club because it's mine. And so club doesn't say anything because we're not supposed to be able to understand her, but actually we can. And I am gonna have to put the record down because I have to go get those keys.
So you can, okay, so dialogue actually translates. That's cool.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go, after I pick up the keys and give them to her, I'm gonna talk to her and you actually will get like dialogue from her. It's pretty cool.
That's cool. I love that they made it work.
You can actually do like I guess it's technically you're duplicating the keys, but also at the same time you can't do anything with them. I actually missed the point. You have to do it before she like crouches down all the way. You'll be able to pick them up again, which is kind of cool. And then you'll have nothing in your mouth. There's no keys in your mouth. It's just that you have something, like some unidentified object in your mouth.
Huh.
But if you talk to her, she says, we're not safe yet. We need to find a way out of here.
That's cool.
And I'm going to grab this again.
The record?
And this is a place that's kind of dangerous if you're speedrunning the game because there's the chance that Clem will bug here. Like, she'll go the wrong way and just soft lock. We're gonna hope that she doesn't. You can tell pretty fast by what path she takes. We don't fully understand what causes her. Okay, we're good. She's not soft locked. We don't fully understand what causes her to soft lock. We do know that if you stand, like, on the spots where she's supposed to stop, get the record. If you stop on the same spot that she'll stop, like you can like force her to keep going. We don't know if that maybe has something to do with like her sometimes just like going the wrong way and getting stuck.
Gotcha.
But here's B12 in jail, except he's not in jail. He's on our back.
We already have B12. Yeah.
And we have our record. Very important. I think I will have to drop the record, unfortunately, for the next part, but that's okay. You get to see the cutscene with the record. Okay, I'm gonna put this down, question mark. Drop it. Drop it, cat. Okay, so you can get her to open the door early. I didn't there, and I'm not gonna do this part again because it's long, but you can get her to open the door early. And when you do, you have free movement. And I'm gonna use the trainer to show you what it would look like if I used that free movement to get all the way to this. There's a box that you can jump into, which is possible. It's totally possible with movement. You can do it before Clem gets to the bottom of the stairs. And if you do, then you're in a box at the same time that you get warped back to where Clem is. So I'm just gonna show you real quick what that's going to look like.
Wait it out and it'll
Anemian found this one and named it Schrodinger's box, so we're about to find out. We just have to wait for Clem to get to the bottom. Unless she did get stuck. Which is always possible.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Clem.
You don't have the disc anymore.
You don't even have the disc anymore. Maybe it's because I took the disc that far. Maybe it messed up her pathing or something. I don't know. She opened the door, though. Which means it should have worked. There's no reason that this shouldn't have worked. All right, well, I'm guessing if I go back there, I'm guessing what's going to happen is that Clem is going to be frozen somewhere.
Whoa.
So, well, I'm not going to run through the lasers. So I guess you guys get to see what happens when Clem bugs. I really thought she was good, but she is apparently not.
Yeah, because she's not here yet, yeah. It's okay.
Oh, she is there. Oh, it might be because I didn't hit the trigger down here. That might be what it is. Can I hit it and then do that thing?
Try it.
Yeah, let's find out. I don't know how close to her I have to get. Like, oh, okay. If I do this, no, I don't think I can get in the box. Unfortunately, that part is really long to redo. Like, we don't have a way to save at the bottom here because it'll break Clem's movement just entirely.
With the save anywhere thing?
Yeah, with the save anywhere thing. I mean, we could. It's just that
bummer.
like you won't be able to continue because
Sure.
it's broken. Trying to think about what else is important because now we're getting to the end of the show. Unfortunately, we couldn't show that, but we still have some other things.
Yeah.
That are pretty cool. Let's just go to the end of the game, you know? Let's finish the game, right?
Sure. That sounds good to me. There's I see something called Early Van.
Early Van, we could give Early Van a try. That one's at the end of jail, actually.
Yeah, that looks like it saves 15 to 20 seconds. That's cool. And that would be taking us right like to the end section.
Yeah, it will. Yeah, exactly.
Cool, let's do it.
So Early Van, if you cut this corner really good, you'll get the prompt for just a second. You have to like be mashing the jump button. And then you get on the van before you enter the tunnel. Because normally you're not supposed to be able to catch up to the van. You have to wait for the van to get like all the way through the tunnel. And then you finally catch up to it and can jump to it. But in this case, we just like skipped all of that. We jumped on the van at the earliest point possible. And like, yeah, it does save a pretty decent chunk of time.
It's already gone ahead. Huh, that's super cool. So you just have to cut a corner fast enough?
Yep, basically.
That's it. Nice.
Because the prompt only appears for like a second, like, or less than a second, like a split second. But it's there, and if you miss it, then you just have to like run through the whole tunnel like normal.
Man, all these poor robots. Oh, like, you go.
I know, they just keep setting the cat on. The cat can achieve their dreams.
They don't know how unreliable cats usually are.
I know, right? They've never experienced our cat before.
Yeah, any usual cat, you'd be like, go, save the world. The cat would be like, I'm gonna go to bed.
Yep. Okay, we have a checkpoint here. I could talk. So there's an interesting glitch that we haven't found a use for yet. It's called Remote B12, and it's where you can basically get B12 stuck. Let's see if I can do it here. You want to open the help prompt at the same time that you use an item.
Oh, okay.
Which I didn't get there, but we'll do it again. Nope. Oh. Did I get it? No. We want to get B12 stuck right here. Oh, I accidentally actually used the item. Okay. There's other places you can do it. I'll just describe what it does, because me getting it wouldn't do anything. I'd have to reload the checkpoint anyways. What happens is B12 gets stuck next to the item, whatever it is. So he would get stuck next to the battery. And when B12 is stuck there, you can't get checkpoints. You can't like deload areas or load new areas. And so this could be used in like strategic ways to specifically, like, for example, delay when Midtown loads and deloads so that you could like drop to the end of jail, for example. The problem is that the only way we know to undo the glitch right now is entering a B12 cutscene. Otherwise, you're just stuck like that forever. So that's why it's not like currently useful, but if we could find another way to undo remote B12, it could be used to, because you can also do it on Roombas, for example. It could be used to just like basically do the same thing that we do on PS4, where you just like position yourself right at the end of jail. We would be able to potentially do that on PC too. That
would save quite a bit of time.
Mm-hmm. Which you didn't actually see since we didn't do most of jail, but...
Right.
It would save time, I promise.
But hey, we're here. Look, we're here to see all like the big stuff. We're here to fit in as much as we can. There's still more like very small little time saves and like kind of almost mini glitches that I could see on this document throughout the game.
Yeah.
It's just, trying to fit it all in the time frame of the show. That's the hard part sometimes.
This one's a fun one. So there's something called zoomies. This one's just fun. Zoomies, you just zoom.
Whoa.
But there's also a different version of it called nose slide zoomies, where instead of going up it like parallel to the bar, if you go up it like sideways, let me see if I can get it. You want to be perpendicular to the railing instead of parallel, and you can also go up it like this if I can get the cat to run into it. Oh, you saw it jump for a second. The goal is to like get up the whole thing. But the cat says no. This one's not actually used in runs. There we go. This one's not used in runs because you can see how finicky it is. It's just funny.
Yeah. That's great.
And then the last big glitch, when I say big, it's a smaller one. It doesn't save much time, but it's funny. You use the Roomba, actually. It's called Catracel, like carousel, but cat.
Okay.
Gotta have the cat puns.
Oh.
And so you use this one to, you push it into the wall, because they can go through this. And then if you jump on top of it, you jump on top of it and activate it again, because you're on it, it'll start spinning. And it'll spin you straight through the wall. You can actually sit here, but it'll spin you straight through the wall, so you don't have to do the puzzle you're supposed to do.
That's so funny.
And now you're through.
Just like, oh, I'm in the control room.
And then there's another skip we can do for another cutscene right here. I haven't done this one in a while. I think I have to do it twice. Not here. I was too early. I'm just gonna keep doing it over this whole area to make sure I get it. All right, I definitely got it at this point. So no cutscene.
Nice.
And now we can just go right to the end of the game. Although this part itself will take a bit, so I don't know if we want to fit in like one more glitch. I think I probably won't do the end of the game. And we can just take a look at something more.
Sure. Do you have any other goofy stuff you want to show off?
I'm gonna show off. Pretend like we finished the game, everybody. Look, it was the end.
Look, we did it! Oh, we made it to the end. Wow!
Whoa! What a great speed run! It only took 2.5 hours.
It's so funny.
I'm back at the beginning of Slums 1, and that's because I'm going to show you the version of the slum skip that we do on console and that we used to do on PC.
Oh, right. Awesome.
So this used to be what you had to do on PC as well before we found sleep paralysis. And this is the one that they specifically preserved in their patch that they patched out sleep paralysis with. Which is so unfortunate.
Okay.
Because they were trying to help us, and then, like, it turns out we found sleep paralysis, which, yeah, unfortunate. We do have to watch this thing again, but once again, we're not actually going to go talk to Momo. We don't need to talk to Momo at all in this game.
Sorry, Mama.
We just need him to drive the boat for us, drive the raft. Alright. So this time I actually didn't get the Guardian glitch, so we can't get him to smile, except if you wait at the very end here as I walk up to him, he will still smile.
Oh, cool.
There we go.
Oh, there. Cute.
But let me just, I guess, outline what's going to happen with this glitch. So, what we're going to do, if you've played the game, and actually I'm a little bit fuzzy on these details since it's been so long since I've played the game how you're supposed to, but in Slums 2, you're supposed to do this quest line with Seamus, where you fix the tracker so that he can find his dad. But the thing is, the tracker actually is already there in Slums 1, and that's where we are. We're in Slums 1. The tracker's already there. We're gonna go get the tracker and fix it, and then the game's gonna think we're in Slums 2, so it's gonna set a checkpoint for Slums 2. So using that, we actually have to do the Seamus quest line twice, because we have to do it once to trick the game into thinking we're in Slums 2, and then we have to do it again when we're in Slums 2.
Oh, weird. Okay.
But you can get to Slums 2 before you're supposed to, and you can skip rooftops entirely. So the quest line has a few different parts that I'm going to try to do as fast as possible. First one is we want to meow. Whoops, I missed it. We want to meow so that this robot drops the paint, which is important to getting into. There we go. We want to get into the laundromat. And an angry robot. Doesn't matter when
you can meow as much as you want until.
Apparently, yeah. Just keep meowing. Nice. Eventually, it'll startle the robot.
Eventually, it works.
Then we get down. Been a while since I've done this part, so what is platforming? We get down and we go in here, and this is where the glitch happens. So you can actually get through this door on the very side here. If you zoom in so that you're lined up right, and then run forward, you run straight through the door.
Oh, okay.
And so now we're in Seamus's house. And like I said, the stuff that you're supposed to get here in Slums 2 is already here in Slums... Oh, I forgot I'm uncapped. That was actually kind of dangerous. If you're uncapped Let me switch that, actually. If you're on uncapped frame rate, you can go through the wall there.
Oh, weird. Okay.
Don't recommend uncapped frame rate for running this game. But it does work better for zoomies. So we can already get in here, we can get the tracker. And then we're gonna fix it, and the game's gonna think we're in slums too.
Nice. Okay.
Oh, the box was attached to us. And so to get out, because the door's not open, once again, we have to zoom in and get to the right spot.
You can go right back out.
And go right back out. There's Seamus. He was, I guess, triggered to come home by the fact that we were in his home. I don't know. He's certainly not there. He's supposed to be there. So we grab the detergent. We need it for... This whole quest line is actually a decent chunk of time.
Yeah.
So doing it twice is a little annoying, for sure, but also faster than doing the quest line you're supposed to do in Slums 1, which is like grabbing all of the different... you have to get all the different notebooks for all the outsiders. There's 4 outsiders, so you have to get 4 notebooks, and then bring them back to Momo or something. I don't know. It's been a while. I do the glitches, not the lore. But we give Grandma the cable because Grandma's gonna knit us a sweater.
So cute. I love this part.
And you can also rub on Grandma and she'll give you a little heart. It's very cute.
I love when you can do... Yeah. Oh, game's so good.
So now we want to go in here again, so I guess, you know, going through the door is fun. The reason we need the sweater is because we need to give it to Elliot. So now Elliot has a sweater, he's no longer shaking and cold. I feel that, I'm also always cold. But now he'll fix the tracker for us. We do want to reload the checkpoint just so that Seamus is in the right place when we get back. But, I mean, we're still here. It's still the same place. I just reloaded the checkpoint. We're gonna jump out the window.
Now we're totally in Slums 2 still, right?
The game was about to think we're in Slums 2, but we will have to, like, exit out and come back. So I'm gonna go in here, and Seamus should be in here, assuming I did everything right. Seamus is gonna be in here. I don't know how I've gotten them all very cleanly.
Yeah.
I don't usually get the jumps this cleanly, but marathon luck, I guess. So anyways, we're gonna give... Oh, hello? Are we not talking? Oh, I see. I missed the prompt. There we go. Okay. So now we've given him the tracker. He's gonna use it to find Doc. And this is when the game now finally thinks that we're in Slums 2 because it's about to send Seamus to open the door for us to go to Dead End. Except the little problem is that Seamus cannot open the door for us to get to Dead End, as you're about to see very shortly.
Uh-oh. Oh, the door's
not open. So he'll just walk infinitely into the door.
Oh no.
And that is why we still have to do this all again in Slums 2. Because we have to get... When you do this again, you have to go and actually talk to Momo, who will take you to see Seamus. Seamus will open the door for you, and then now finally the door is open, and so Seamus can, like, leave and bring you to Dead End.
So funny. But it'll already be, like, ready to go.
You still have to do all the tracker quests again, because...
What?
Actually, I think somebody asked about this earlier, like, if you can go backwards in the game. You can replay any chapter that you already played, and you can also, but the thing about it is, like, the game is built that way so that you can replay chapters, but what it'll do is it'll, like, default to nothing in your inventory, except for the things you're supposed to have. So that is one of the reasons why we can do the skips that we do. Like with sleep paralysis, we can skip all the way to sewers, because it'll just give you the defluxer, the purple light weapon. It'll just give it to you because it thinks you already have it. But that's also the reason why we have to redo this part when we come back to Slums 2, is because once I quit, it just resets my inventory to, like, baseline whatever you're supposed to have entering, which is not the tracker, unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah, Seamus just he can't see the door. He just hasn't noticed yet.
He just doesn't realize. He's busy. He's really, 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 really focused.
Yeah,
right now.
he's tracking.
This is what we're ending on. I love it.
But I think we should end here.
This is so funny.
Poor
I've been
Seamus.
walking forever.
Seamus will be stuck in an infinite loop.
I wish we could like superimpose this behind us as we're talking. I don't think that that's actually possible, but that'd be very funny. All right. Well, this has been really, really cool. Thank you so much for coming on Pass Ray. And
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Especially like great way to celebrate the awesome finale of Frostbite Tales and like the great job you did there. And then also it's Women's History Month. I'm so glad to have you on the show for like so many reasons, and you've done an amazing job, especially breaking all these down. Again, you all can go to like speedrun.com, and like all of the resources on there is awesome. This run isn't like that long. You can learn all kinds of really cool stuff. Here's a really good example of someone you could always like reach out to and be like, hey, questions,
Yeah,
etc.
absolutely.
Yeah. So as we're wrapping up your Pass Ray, please tell us where we can find you, what you're working on, like future plans, etc. Like all your accounts. Where can everybody go follow you at?
Yeah, you can find me at twitch.tv/passaray. Lately I've been working on I've been back to 102 Dalmatians, so I've got cat game and I've got dog game. I've been working towards like a second place in 102 Dalmatians, maybe world record one day. I mean, in the category that I'm working on, I have some of those world records, but I want to get it in the out of bounds category because that's the best one, obviously.
Okay. Yeah. What is the category you're working on at the moment?
All levels out of bounds. So it's like
cool.
it's a shorter
Okay,
speed run. This one's actually a very long speed run for me. It's at like an hour to an hour and a half. 102 Dalmatians is like 20 minutes.
Nice. Okay. A little bit shorter. A little bit quicker.
I've been learning Paper Mario. We'll see if I learn the rest of Paper Mario. That is a glitch heavy speedrun, which has been super fun to learn about all those glitches. But I'm still in the process of learning it.
Yes, we have had Paper Mario on this show actually. So if you want to see some glitch breakdown things,
I can go
we had
and see them broken down. That's awesome.
Yeah, so you can watch JCog breaking all this down. Yeah, there was a lot, and a lot of like tools used for that.
Yeah, they have some
like
really
a
awesome
pure
tools.
Showcase. Yeah, you could definitely check that out. That's super cool. I'd love to see Paper Mario. So Paper Mario and animal games. This is like top quality content here. So you mostly do stuff on your Twitch stream. Do you have any other accounts we should follow you on?
My Twitter's PassRaySR if you wanna just all one word PassRaySR if you wanna keep up to date with what I've been up to. But yeah, those are the two best places to follow me to get updates.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. If you have anything else you want to chat about, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to just talk more GDQ stuff.
I do want to say thank you to Okatsu and Anemian for helping me to come up with, the glitches that I showed off here. Like, I just generally asked, what are some fun things that we can show off that aren't just the glitches we use in the run. Also, thank you to Okatsu and Base Nuke and DMG Vol for making all of the awesome mods that you saw today that I used to help show things off, but also these are, things that you can use to help practice the game. And then we also have that awesome glitch document that me and NJ Stray and Piggy Guy all have worked on to keep it up to date with, all of the things that have been found. So be sure to check that out to learn about glitches if you want to try any of these yourself. And yeah, absolutely, reach out if you have questions. We also have the Discord where you can ask questions as well. And yeah, I'm just excited if anybody wants to learn this game because it's fun.
Cool. Yeah, it's really cute. I actually considered learning it myself, but I love learning about the speedrun stuff. I just don't speedrun that often myself. I don't know. Anyway.
No, awesome. I've learned about way more glitches than I actually know the speedruns for. So I get that. Glitches are just fun.
I think I can say the same now too after having all these like episodes on the show. But all right, everybody, please go follow Pass Ray. Give her some love. Say hello. Let her know that you came from Hotfix, from GDQ. Be awesome. And speaking of GDQ stuff, just a reminder that yes, we are returning to PAX East March 23rd to the 26th. If you want to volunteer on-site or submit a game for on-site SGDQ, I think remote or on-site for game submissions, you have to do it by like midnight tomorrow-ish. Go check out gamesdonequick.com for all of the info. get your profile, your signups, etc. If you're watching it on YouTube, if you're watching the show right now, hey, what's up, YouTube? How's it going? You can always like and subscribe. We have content like this every night. And so we put all this stuff on YouTube as well. So thank you all for watching there. We appreciate you. We appreciate you a lot. And yeah, just want to say thank you to you all for being here for another episode. It's super fun. This show specifically is every other Monday at 10 p.m. Eastern. So feel free to tune in for the next one coming up soon. And otherwise, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your night, and we will see you on the next one. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.